right, so I guess let's begin. So we'll recap by going over what happened last session. You guys made your way to Carrington, where you went into the Tipsy Sailor Inn and got a little information from an old friend slash foe, Argyle Dawnhorn. And after a little bit of talking to Argyle and some drinks were flowing, Argyle decided to bring you to Lady Joysword, who is held up in an old mansion that's in the flooded area of the city. It's there where I guess you guys came in to discuss the events that happened and get some clarification on, I guess, maybe who she is. But other than that, you guys fought your way through the base of the mansion. A couple rooms had some strange things that came out of the water. You found a dead guy floating in the courtyard. I think his name was like Handsome Larry or something. But yeah, so we're gonna pick up in the room of Lady Joysword, where you guys enter the room. She's sitting on the bed. Let me turn this music down.
Oh, hell yeah, she's on the bed?
Yeah, so as you guys enter with Argyle introduces you. And he says, "Hey, travelers, Lady Joysword, captain of the Silent Raider." And she looks like confused at why you guys are here. And she looks up with her one good eye. And Argyle looks over Don't be alarmed, Captain. This they come here under peaceful agreement. The rogue here, he swears he's not here to collect a bounty on you. But I'd be on guard. And also, as you guys walked in, you saw a few of the crewmen throughout the mansion. I'll put a couple of guys back onto the token layer. I know we sped through this as it was the end of the last session, but so joining you also are two of these guys. We'll bring them in there. But all right. Anyway, so yeah, she's sitting on the bed and she looks over at you guys as you guys enter with Argyle, and she says, "Well. I knew at some point the travelers would be coming for me, and now that you have tracked me to Carrington, I'm assuming you're here to collect the bounty on my head. Vatoris, is it?"
That I am.
Wait. Nautilus is confused. That you are Vatoris, or that you are to collect the bounty?
Both.
Hey, wait, didn't we say that we weren't doing that?
That's what Argyle said.
I feel like you lied.
No, I did not.
Well, what are you waiting for then? Or you here just to kill me? I'd very much like to see this, but
Is Snodler's up on the bed with her?
I'm pretty sure that's where we ended last time.
Apparently,
yes.
Yeah.
No, I think last time, literally, she was lying on the bed, and I hopped up and I sat down.
I think John's well, that's where we're gonna edit, and Salvador's I'm on the bed.
It's canon.
I can't just be on the edge.
I'm assuming, yeah, he's probably close to the bed, not on the bed.
All right, fine.
Because she's also not laying in the bed; she's sitting on the end of the bed. So as she kind of threatens you a little bit, she kind of laughs a little bit. She says, "That's foolish people. There's much bigger things happening in the realm besides the misdeeds of a few pirates and scoundrels of the Azure. The Shroud of the Abyss, vampires, worshippers of Dagon. I don't know if you've heard, but they're attempting to summon Dagon to our plane and enslave the nations within the Azure."
Nautilus isn't sure if he knows about the Shard of Abyss. Is that what you said? Shroud?
The Shroud, yeah.
So, what is that one? I think I got the other ones.
Well, the Shroud of the Abyss. Well, first of all, could you please take a few steps back?
It's comfortable. Takes a seat in this chair and turns it around.
Sitting on her nightstand.
Well, I got kicked off the bed.
It's a bad dog. So yeah, as you guys are sitting here now, and you get a second, you kind of look around at the around this room. You see pictures of a younger girl, struck with a resemblance to Joysword herself. This room is in definitely better condition compared to like most of the rest of the house that you've been in. It almost looks like it never fell into a state of disrepair like the rest of the house. But you also do notice that there's a couple large crates that are blocking a door that's leading the exit out of the room. And so anyway, so she starts to begin to tell you, well, the Shroud of the Abyss is a group of undead fiends that is attempting to raise the demon lord Dagon from the abyss.
No. It's not unless I thought it was actually a shroud.
That's just the clever name that they go by. They're pure evil. They appear to be pulling the strings of the feeble-minded Sahaugen that are working under the sea for them.
Then you're not working above the sea for them?
Oh, no, honey, I'm not working for them. I've been thrown into this story with no choice, kind of much like yourselves.
Snodulus is confused how you don't have a choice.
Well, seeing as we're not beginning with the combat here, maybe we'll do a little bit of the pleasantries. Here, everybody, please, I'd feel a little better if you all took a seat. And Argyle kind of motions for you, specifically Vatoris, to a chair.
Vatoris doesn't go to the chair. Is the door behind us open?
Yeah, it's open, and you see a couple of the crew members that are standing out in the other room.
With Hector?
Yeah, Hector. Hector just decided he was going to take a nap and curled up on this bed.
And you said there was a bunch more, like, throughout the rooms we walked through, right?
Yeah, they're not the only people that you've seen in here.
Alright.
Well, I'm not shy. I'll walk over and plop my big ass down in this chair right here.
And it's a really like luxurious chair. Like you can tell this is some fancy chair. These are like fancier than Drake's velvet couches that you guys had seen. And there is a nice fire roaring in this place, and it's very comfortable, Yuri.
Unless Captain Joysword would rather I joined her in the bed.
No, and Argyle looks over at you and he's like, "You better watch your tongue, dwarf." So, who wants to begin? So, tell me, how have you all gotten involved with this? Argyle has only told me bits and pieces, but what has happened since you guys have left Black Sands?
A lot of shit's happened. A lot.
I mean, do you guys think we should be sharing information with her?
Snodulus doesn't say why not. What has she done to us?
That's true.
But weren't you also the one telling random strangers all of our adventures?
Yeah, Snodulus thinks I have no problem talking to her.
Yeah.
Now, if she got on her boat and drank all of our booze and then lied about it, then Snodulus wouldn't tell her anything.
Yeah, those people usually get pushed overboard.
Yes, pushed. Snodulus is not very strong and cannot push.
Speaking of which, do you have anything to drink?
Oh, I do. And she motions over to Argyle, and he walks over to this cabinet, and he pulls out a glass and a bottle of scotch and pours you a glass and hands it over to you, Yuri. See, am I so bad as being this ruthless pirate that the realm is making me out to be?
Well, Brother Govac only had good things to say about you.
That fool. How was Govac?
Um,
Dead.
Oh,
he's dead.
well, I'm not surprised in that.
Where's the artifact?
What's this artifact?
One you stole from a ship a year ago?
Foolish boy.
He called him a boy.
Well, he is a boy. Well, I thought we were going along the lines of pleasantries, so making demands of me isn't something that I am very fancy to. How about
How
you?
old is she?
So she's probably about the same age as you.
Fucking really starting to not like her and Argyle.
So, I'm assuming that you have all had run-ins with the Shroud or Sahaugen at this point.
Many times.
And do you have any information that possibly you could share with me? And I'm an open book. I have all sorts of information I could share with you. I mean, besides, if I wanted you dead, you would have all been dead by now.
It's not isn't that sure of that.
Oh,
I mean, there's a whole bunch of people that want us dead. And he's still here.
Well, your tiny ship would have never left Black Sands.
Just from my own memory, is Black Sands the pirate?
Pirate Island.
Yeah. Just making sure.
So, what is your role in all of this Dagon business? Like, how do you know about it?
Well, seeing as how I'm trying to have a solid framework here, a good relationship with the travelers. Argyle tells me that you're all good people. I myself am a good person. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself, and maybe you all decide that you're going to open up as well. I mean, trust goes both ways, am I right?
Yes.
Well, where to begin? A year ago, I was while captaining the Silent Raider, the fastest ship in all the Azure. I received word that my father, Sir Godfrey Baylor, had become ill, and he would not be alive for long. And it's this time when I left Argyle in charge of the ship and returned home by myself here in Carrington. But unfortunately, after rushing home, I was still too late. I watched my father die. And then I watched my father open his eyes. And they were not the eyes of the great man that I had loved. His eyes were red. They were cold, primal. He rose up and attacked me. He threw me to the floor as I had pushed him away, only to inadvertently kind of push him towards my mother and sister, who were also in the room. But with like lightning quick reflexes like none I had ever seen, he lashed out at mother. I watched as he ripped her throat out with his own mouth, and then turned to my sister and bit down hard into her neck. Then I rose to my feet, sword in hand. Just then, and he looked up at me. He released my sister, two large fangs protruding from his upper jaw, dripping in poor Juliana's blood. I saw he had become the thing I've only heard in legend, a vampire. I lunged at him, slashed at him with my short sword. He threw up his left arm to block the attack. My rage cleanly cut through his arm. As he stood there, without wincing pain, for a moment he hesitated. But then he leapt through the window, and I never saw him again. I spent the next few days searching the city for clues. Although he was a member of the Watchful Order of the Magus, Father enjoyed the drink. The only clue that I came upon was a rumor that the night he became sick, he was seen at the Tipsy Sailor. It's a bar down by the docks. I'm sure this is where you met my friend Argyle here. And then at that point he nods a little bit. And an eyewitness saw him being led out to an alley behind the bar. He was being led by a handsome, pale-faced pirate wearing high black boots with a very clean white ruffled shirt. After a little inquiring, I found out that he was a frequent patron of the Tipsy Sailor. His name was Gerard Fabrustra. I sat at the bar. His name is of no importance.
Gerard Fabrusta?
Yes, please. I sat at the bar for several nights until I saw him come in. I put myself into a position to be seduced by the handsome pirate. And again, he led me, this time, to the secluded back alley where he grabbed a hold of me and sank his teeth into my neck. Like,
You're a vampire?
At that point, you guys look at her and you notice that she has this red scarf around her neck, and she loosens it a little bit and pulls it down. You see these two puncture scars on her neck, and she kind of tilts her head so you can see them. Unlike my father, I was ready. Before he could drain me of my life, I thrust a silver dagger through his heart and watched as he shriveled up and disintegrated into dust before my eyes. It felt good. I felt a bit of justice had been served. I headed back to the bar, and it was then I realized Gerard was not alone. A comrade of his was looking for him throughout the bar. I followed him outside, sticking to the shadows. I followed him back to the docks, where I saw him jump off the pier into the sea, only to transform into a cloud of mist in midair. I pulled out my spyglass my father gave to me. I watched the mist fly over the sea through the moonlight to a ship moored off the coast. The ship was black as night, its sails black and tattered. This was the ship of the damned. Perhaps you've seen this ship.
That wasn't the one we came across earlier, right?
I think we destroyed the Emperor of the Waste.
Yeah, but
that's
ship,
a different.
Yeah, that was probably. I guess you guys could assume that was different because it didn't have black sails and matched. I guess the description.
Wasn't everything rotted and.
Yeah, that was more like Davy Jones's ship from Pirates of the Caribbean. It was this rotted.
The Flying Dutchman.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you, Megler.
Gotcha.
Well, finding this information out, and seeing this wretched fiends, I devised a new plan for my goal in life. My new duty was to find those responsible for taking my family from me and punishing them, sending them to the hell they deserve. I returned to the Silent Raider and used all of my resources to track the ship of the damned. After several months, the crew became discouraged that we were not plundering and making coin. I couldn't tell them all the truth, and maybe that was my fault. That's what drove Argyle away from me. But vengeance to me was more important than friends and coin. At that point, many of the crew, including my love Argyle, left me to join other ships.
I look at Argyle.
Wave my glass in the air. Argyle, can you top me off?
He reluctantly walks back to the cabinet, grabs another bottle, and fills you up. Well, she says, I've been tracking the ship of the damned, and just I've gotten close, but I've learned that the ship is manned by the Shroud of the Abyss. It's tasked with collecting pieces of the embrace of the undying sea. And at that point, she looks over at Snothers at the trident sticking out of his bag. And I tracked the ship of the damned to the deep waters off the coast of Neverwinter. We approached it in the dark, as it was ambushing a ship belonging to the Order of the Magus and Protectors. At this point, she started just staring at Vatoris. The ship was carrying the Gem of Umberly, a powerful artifact that binds the trident together, amplifying its power. The ship of the damned sank the Order's ship. It escaped without a trace before we had a chance to board it. Now, I suppose a fishing ship nearby spotted the raider near the wreckage, pointing fingers at me for sinking the ship. But I tell you, it was not me or my crew.
Insight.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, 13 with a +6.
Well, it's good enough to know, as you're looking at her, that she's staring at you, and she has a very solemn, serious look on her face. Vasid, yeah, I mean, you don't know her well enough. You can't really make out what she's getting at, but I would think, Vatoris, that you think that for the most part, this might be a big
Did she
revelation.
say Argo was on board?
No,
Yeah,
Argo left, didn't he? I thought she said he left. during
Argo
that time.
told me that he never was attacked, so that's why I'm trying to see if she just told me that Argo was aboard.
oh yeah. So at this point, Argyle probably was not aboard because they had all left her.
Damn it! I thought I had her.
So like Argyle didn't learn about. I'm outside game, but like Argyle didn't know about like a lot of this stuff until recently, like when he met up with her at Black Sands. After that, like, rekindling with her, like Argyle getting back in her favors and saying, "Hey, Vatoris is coming to kill you." So Argyle would have recently known about, hey, she's not out just to, there's a reason why she wasn't plundering and doing the things that pirates are supposed to be doing.
And I mean, if we trust Argyle, we should trust her.
We got this we.
Argyle has been, he's never really done anything to us. He was a good shipmate.
I mean, he abandoned us, but so did
Oh, I mean, he just went back to his girlfriend, it appears.
I guess I can't say I blame him. She's got a beautiful eye.
Does she's got scars from the vampire? Does she have is she a vampire? Like, does she have pale skin, long incisors?
No, I think she stabbed it before it did anything.
I don't know.
Is that what he said in the story?
Just do an investigation check. Let's see what you can notice about her.
Some damn good scotch.
Yeah, with the light in the room and everything, and her actually pulling down this scarf, and you're getting a good look at her. Like, she appears to be 100% human. She definitely has these scars, but she doesn't have any of these telltale signs like she said about her father, with these red eyes and this pale complexion that she described as these other vampires.
Out of game, didn't a couple of us got bit on the neck in that stone thing?
Yep. I mean, that was also a little different, and that was just a statue of a vampire.
Well, that's what I mean, but wouldn't we have the marks on us?
It's possible.
Or would they be gone?
They might be
gone. No, that was recently, wouldn't we? Because it was...
I think that was.
It was on the island.
So that would have been like...
Before we came here.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, probably. Maybe 3 at this point, but...
Out of game, how is vampirism spread?
So like, I don't know, the way that I would interpret it is kind of like you would have to drink the blood of a vampire, like in lore. I don't think like just getting bit by a vampire, because in this case Vasan would be a vampire from like 10 sessions ago.
So it's
in the very beginning.
It's got to be a willing thing. It's not like a epidemic or something like that.
Right.
Gotcha. I was just curious because I don't remember reading anywhere and how it's contracted.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of it being like a
symbiotic.
Choice. Yeah, like a vampire will like feed you like a like this is like an Anne Rice novel.
Maybe keep people around as like cattle. You don't want your cattle turning.
But there's also things that you guys have seen, like vampires spawn. Like when you guys were fighting, Vatoris, you weren't there,
Mm-hmm.
but you guys were fighting in the mansion in the laboratory. There was like these things that were more decrepit looking. They were barely human, but they were also vampires.
I look over at Vasim and see if he's starting to look a little desiccated.
Good. So you're trying to stop those guys from summoning Dagon, then?
I don't give much shit about Dagon, but I'm looking to stop the ship of the damned. Well, in return, yes, maybe that may save the world and all of its wretchedness, but...
Well, we're trying to do the same thing, but for different reasons.
This is why I say our fates are very much entwined. But
We're also looking for treasure.
well, you sound like a pirate, my friend.
Thank you.
Ugh.
So,
So
how long have you been doing this?
well, I've been searching.
year.
I've been searching, yes, for the ship of the Dan for just about a year now, and it's we've come close. I've only heard rumors. I've traveled from port to port, but my contacts here in Carrington informed me that the ship of the Damned was spotted in the south. I'm heading out to Freya tomorrow to follow up the lead.
Damn it! I just had a question and it fucking slipped my mind. Fuck.
Would you do you
How are you in the city if the Watchful Order has the bounty on your head?
I'm trying to keep a low profile, as it may seem, but some of my crew decides that they need to experience the Feet Fest and go indulge in the festivities of the city. But either that or you're just a very amazing bounty hunter.
I just
I
start
was a
laughing.
bounty
I
hunter
start
for the longest time, so
Wait, Snarlis is confused. Is he a bounty hunter?
He
that's
thinks
what he
is.
says.
Used to be.
I never seen him collect any bounty.
Well, then I have
Whoa,
nothing
whoa,
to worry
whoa.
about.
Once.
Whoa. Snarlis thinks you should be careful with that. He may have to prove something. Don't say that.
Fucking Jesus Christ! If it was up to you guys, everywhere we went, I'd be like, "Got any bounties? Got any bounties?" I joined an adventuring guild.
I mean, you're
left. I left the bounty hunting behind. Well, minus her, and I point at Joysword.
Now
Fuck.
I implore you, Vatoris. I did not kill your sister. This bounty is purely a farce. But I will own my actions. I am a pirate. I am a member of the Guardians.
Well,
I have done
so are
terrible
we,
things in the
kinda.
past.
What is your relationship with the what's his name, the Bloody Baron? No.
Oh, you speak of the fool, the butcher.
Yeah, that's him. I knew it started with a
Yeah,
B.
yeah. The butcher. He decided he wanted to try to put some moves on me back at the sanctuary, but
brown chicken, yellow cow.
yeah, but he's I am no man's woman.
I look over at Argo when she says that.
And he droops his head a little bit. He's kind of sad. He's doesn't want to talk about his ex.
Now I get why he was so pissy.
Well, speaking of which, don't we have our own bounty to tend to if we're not going to collect on her?
Whoa. What do you know about this Renwick bounty?
What do I know? Well, I don't know much about the bounty on Mr. Drake, but I do know that he's quite the sensation here in Carrington. But the Emperor may not think so, and the Kree Empire is desperately seeking him to. Personally, I think it's just to gain power, but I'd be careful around here. But trying to
What about the Countess?
speak ill of Mr. Drake. Well, the Countess I don't know much about. I'm trying to steer clear of anything in the city, but she appears to be a good person.
Is she in favor with Drake?
I don't personally think that anybody's in favor with him, but I also don't think they're against him. Drake generates a large amount of coin.
So I've been hearing. I hear a lot of stories about this guy.
He's had run-ins with the sea princes in the past, and I don't think he's necessarily a pirate, but shady dealings definitely follow him around. But most of the people here in the city respect Mr. Drake.
That's Meglar's stepdaddy.
You could say he's one of these people that like to rob from the rich to give to the poor. Some sort of fairy tale or something.
Has he ever tried to kill you?
Oh, no, he wouldn't dare. But one time I did meet him. He did try to seduce me for a supposed fun night on his ship, the Hellfish. But
Can't say I blame him.
Speaking of ships, what do you know about the shipwright guild here?
What do I know about the Shipwrights Guild? I purchased the Silent Raider from the Shipwrights Guild. They're the greatest shipbuilders in all of the Azure, possibly all of the realm.
How much do those ships run?
Oh, if you have to ask, then you probably can't afford it, my monk friend.
Well, I'm new here. I have no idea. I'd never even heard of this. And your ship is quite nice.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, the ships that the Van Zagrams build aren't cheap. They run anywhere between 30 to 40,000 gold pieces.
Oh, fuck.
No, that's chump change.
You really must be a pirate. What did you say your name is again, Mr. Dwarf?
Yuri. Do you happen to have a map to Vermilion?
Oh, I've never heard of the place, but is it in Cordova?
I'm not 100% sure where it is.
Oh, well, I've been all around, and that's one name that I haven't heard. But
So, yeah, when you plan on, what is your plan for this whole ghost ship?
well, the plan is to sail to the south, check the waters off the coast of Freya. Now, my father, he had a journal that he left behind. And he mentioned something about Freya and a dagger of his being stolen while he was on a mission. What do they call that? Mission for the mages. I don't know if you've ever been to Freya, but it's a rather unpleasant place. It's the home of pickpockets and thieves.
What's the town where Hector's from called?
I don't know, because Hector never gave me that name.
Oh, of course he didn't.
But Hector would tell you that his town is south of the city. It's near there.
You ever heard of a syndicate called the Basaldes?
No, the Masaldis.
Yeah, that's it, the Basaldes.
Are you in bed with them, or you riled them up as well as the Shroud and the Sea Princess?
Well, we're not exactly pirates, but we kind of make waves everywhere we go.
As so it may seem.
But what do you know about them?
No, I don't know. I don't mess around with organized crime, but they mostly work out of Liara. It's one place I don't visit very often.
Do you typically stick to these shores?
Mostly. This is why the Guardians believe that I would be best to watch over the area of Carrington. I have much better things to do.
Why aren't you helping Carrington unsink? Is this ghost ship's problem? They're causing it? Do you even know what's causing it?
I don't.
Seems like you know a lot about random things.
I don't know much about this, but I would assume if you wanted to learn more about what's going on in the city, I would talk to the Countess.
Yeah, that's tough to get in with the Countess. Something about showing her feet or something.
She looks at you and raises an eyebrow. Well, yeah, maybe. Well, I hear Feet Fest is going to be a real blast, is what the crew says. So maybe you could find out about your feet there.
Austin sounds like a foot fetishist.
He totally is.
When are you leaving tomorrow for Freya?
Oh, my idea was to leave early in the morning, but by the time all my crew drunkenly comes back, it's probably not going to be until afternoon.
So have you acquired any artifacts?
I personally have not, but
You know of their whereabouts?
I think I may know of some of the whereabouts. And she looks over to Snouders. Is
Oh.
that
I'm not it, am I? Snodulus isn't one.
what is that trident sticking out of your bag? No,
A trident.
that doesn't look like any ordinary trident I've ever seen. And as far as I have heard, you are searching for pieces of the trident, the embrace
you know what-
of the undying sea.
Do you know what it does?
Snodulus slaps the bag with his hand. He's like, Snodulus found a lot of the trident.
I know what it does. I know it's the weapon of Dagon. It is all powerful when all the pieces get together. When the gem of Umberly gets placed within this trident, its power will be very, very great. And if Dagon gets his hands on it, mortals will all be screwed.
So if Snodulus gets his hand on it, though,
Can anyone wield the magic and the power?
Well, what do I look like? Some sort of priest? I don't know. If
I mean, we're just a bunch of fucking trying to be good guys, and we're trying to figure shit out. It seems like you've been doing this longer than we have.
I haven't been searching for pieces of the trident.
You've been just searching for vengeance.
The trident is parallel to my quest. It seems that the Shroud of the Abyss is looking for the trident. So just the mere fact that you have that on your possession, it seems very foolish, as the Shroud of the Abyss has spies all over. I would be very careful if I were you.
Well, aren't you trying to get the Shroud of the Abyss? What if we tried to lure him in for you?
I need the Ship of the Damned. The Shroud of the Abyss is a vast organization.
And I thought you said they were the ones that fucking drive that shitbag of a boat.
Yeah, some of them, yes.
Well, what if they're come after us on their boat?
Oh, I want to fight the battle on my terms. I don't want to be ambushed in my own house.
I look around. I was like, "This is your house?"
That's exactly what we were trying to do.
Oh, really? If you haven't noticed, yes, this is my childhood home. And yes, my name is originally Lady Baylor, not Joysword. I changed my name to hide my true identity.
Snodulus isn't familiar with that name. Is anyone else familiar with that name?
Lord, wasn't there Lord Baylor?
That's her father. We're in his house.
And he turned into a vampire. Well, where we're from, 300 vampires are running around.
What?
What?
50 vampires.
300 vampires are running around from where we're from.
Argo looks over at her and he's like, Yeah, they had rumors that there was 1,000 vampires in some mansion back in Salt Marsh, but it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Rumors.
No, we killed a couple. Like 5, to be exact.
I heard. I was back on the ship when they supposedly killed some of these. And then at that point, she kind of looks at you, Voss, and she's like, well, impressive. I know exactly how hard it is to kill these creatures.
You've killed one besides your dad?
Oh, I didn't kill my father, but I will find him. And maybe
He's
there's
still
a cure.
alive?
I never found the body. He escaped. He escaped the house. He jumped out of the window.
Mother trucker.
Don't vampires turn to dust, don't they?
The one that I stabbed in the heart with a silver dagger turned to dust.
Otherwise, they turn into smoke. Were you not paying attention? Snoddlers was paying attention. He looks at Lady Joysword.
Very good.
Well, we don't know many people around here. In fact, I think you're the only person we now know besides Argle over here.
Well, this is exactly why I try to. I would like to form a tree of trust here between us.
Well, now that we've got all the nonsense questions out of the way, we want to know the real question. How'd you lose your eye?
Snoddlers is curious.
Well, I lost my eye in a battle years ago when I was just a seaman on a different ship.
You can see Snoddler's face getting way confused now.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I became of age, I left my home and my riches and wealthy parents to seek out adventure and fulfill my own path in life. It was good times sailing the high seas. I guess not all the times were good. I lost an eye, and then she pulls up her shirt a little bit, and on her her torso you see a huge scar that goes right up the side of her ribs. She's like, yeah, battles at sea sometimes they leave a mark on you, both physically and mentally. But I would never trade the pirate life for any other life. Freedom is much better than living in a society like this. Homes and being told what to do. And
But you're the only Baylor left. There's no one left to tell you what to do.
yeah, I am the only Baylor left.
Well, what do you propose then?
Well, I don't know if there's any mutual benefit of us working together, but perhaps if you had some way that we could communicate from long distances, we could keep in touch. So if you see the ship of the damned, you let me know, and in return, what is it you're looking for? Pieces of the trident to stop Dagon?
Now
We need a party ship.
If I find the ship of the damned and I kill all those aboard, you can gladly I would gladly give you the gem of Umberlee. I trust that you heroes would know what to do with the gem.
When she says hero, did she air quote that?
Oh, she totally did.
What are the chances of you getting us a party boat too?
Snoddlers would like to roll Arcana to see if you'd know what to do with it.
Well, I think that at this point you would know what to do with the gem only because you've been studying the big indentation that's like a baseball size in the crossbar of it. So now it all kind of makes sense that you're looking for this gem that goes there.
But we know where it is, so we're not looking for it.
Yeah.
Snoddlers nods.
Well, no, technically those are the people that killed this guy's family.
Those are the people that sunk the ship. If that's the ship that your sister was on, I saw it with my own eye. Here, and at that point, she reaches over the bed and reaches her backpack. And in the backpack, she pulls out this spyglass and she says, "As an act of good faith, take this, Vatoris," and she hands it out to you.
Slowly take it.
This was a gift from my father. So basically, it's a spyglass that will allow you to see with dark vision.
Ooh. If only I could turn it into a monocle.
God.
Well, Snuddlers thinks that she did. All you gotta do is lose an eye. Snuddlers can help you lose an eye.
No, no. I didn't mean I wanted one eye. The gnome's so literal.
I have a problem in Saltmarsh with the Masoldis.
Is it something that I could help you with in return for any assistance you may give me and my crew?
Need to acquire a party boat.
Oh, you got in with the butcher, huh? I've heard the butcher's is getting a large ship created. He told me all about it one night.
Well, we're not in with the butcher, but we need the ship.
So you're gonna cross the butcher in order to appease the Masaldis? Oh, you are
My
Goddamn
friend's
right.
life is on the line.
oh,
They have him held hostage.
he must have a very valuable life if you're gonna cross
No,
both
Snuddlers doesn't even know his name.
You're gonna cross the Masaldis and the Guardians. I don't know if this is something that I could really help you with.
Well, I think the Masaldis are not happy with us, and I kind of look over at Snuddlers.
I act like I don't know what's going on. Because I probably don't, actually.
Have you ever heard the what was that casino ship name?
Golden Fortune.
Yeah, the Golden Fortune.
Yeah, Snuddlers was on there once.
Yes, I've been there several times.
Well, you probably won't ever see it again.
Oh, so are you truly heroes, or are you maybe pirates as well? Maybe we will have a much better relationship than I anticipated.
Well, it's kind of a gray area, I guess. Maybe lapse of judgments.
We'll sail with pirates any day.
What's this wee shit, Yuri?
As a spokesperson for the travelers.
Either way, yeah, that we gotta find a way to get that ship.
Well, there's not much I know about it except for I know that mercenaries guard that place during the day. It's guarded up pretty tight. But I do know nighttime is much quieter.
Is it finished? Like, how long till it's done?
I,
Do you know anything about it?
What I do know is that it's nearly finished. The admiral, he was telling me that I should go on the ship and christen some of the beds with him. That pig.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Does it have to be with you? Can we just bring random people up there and christen the place?
Well, apparently he has an infatuation with me.
Shit.
I will tell you one thing. I wouldn't
Well-
mind overthrowing that pompous fool.
Well, we'll help you do that, right, guys?
Who are we overthrowing?
The butcher.
Ugh.
I'll do
Snuddlers thinks we kind of have to.
It almost seems
think-
like you're gonna have to pick a side. Are you gonna side with the Masaldis or side with the Guardians?
Well, first of all, we're not really taking the Masaldi's side. It's just because they have
We need
someone who's
to-
important to me. So they're kind of blackmailing us into doing this because they think or assume that we were the cause of the misfortune of the Golden Fortune.
Well, I've only known you for about 10 minutes now, and I can probably assume that you are the reason for that misfortune of the Golden Fortune.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I'm
They all I know is they have one of my friends and entrepreneurs who help make some extra side hustle stuff. You know what I mean? I know what you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course I know what you mean. But I've heard of another adventuring guild that would be perfect for this sort of thing.
Those guys are
Well, they
douchebags.
specialize in hostage rescues and things of the sort. The Hero Society.
I used to be in the Hero Society.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
I,
I just face palm.
I hear they're very affordable.
I left them because they were pussies.
Oh,
Absolutely. I can tell Joysword doesn't believe me.
she thinks you're full of shit.
Either way, help would be appreciated.
Well, I don't really think I could stay around and do anything, and especially get involved with crossing my boss to.
Well, I thought you don't like him.
I don't like him, and he's on my kill list. But right
There's a
now, I have other important things to do first, like dispatch the ship of the damned. She pulls out a little checklist. Step 2: kill the butcher.
I feel like it unfurls onto the ground.
Yeah.
Well, how could we work this to where our timelines can meet up to where we could help each other here? I mean, I'm not saying, to go christen beds with the guy, but I mean, maybe that could be a way for us to infiltrate and take it over.
He's not here, is he? I thought they were like in the process of finishing it.
He's gonna pick it up, right?
I think
And christen it?
he is gonna pick it up, but I have much more important things to do than to go put myself out there to be anywhere near that filthy fool.
Why don't we just go kill him?
I do appreciate your eagerness to join alliances to allow me to control the Guardians. I feel like I would be
I'm
much
just
better
trying to
represented.
save somebody.
Well, they must really be worth saving if you wish to assassinate a member of a even more powerful pirate organization.
As long as I get my 60-40 split on all treasure.
I can't let the guy die.
Well, why don't you do what any good thief would do and sneak in there in the middle of the night and steal the ship yourselves? It can't be that hard for a bunch of would-be adventurers like yourself. No offense.
Problem is, we have a lot of shit we got to take care of here. We're kind of spread thin here with time and.
Do you know when his ship's
What
going
do
to
we
be
do?
finished?
I don't know. I know he said soon, and that was about a month ago.
It'd be done now.
We can swing by there. We leave here.
Then we're gonna steal a ship and then just leave.
No, you go and reconnaissance, man. Reconnaissance.
Snarlers will go, not tell anyone, and then just steal it. What do you think?
Snarlers, I think, should stay behind.
Snarlers was actually just making fun of the last time we went on a ship that was for gambling.
Yeah, and someone tried to immediately open a vault like they owned it.
Maglar.
Maglar didn't do it.
Well,
my
we
God.
still got the rest of the city. We might be able to find someone who knows more elsewhere.
The only problem is, I think if we're snooping around, asking questions about it, they might get back to them.
But you can ask, maybe pretend to be a potential buyer, and you've heard of them, and you'd like to see some of their work.
That was the smartest thing I think I've heard. Sorry, Snodlers has heard you say.
And Vatoris flips Snodlers off.
Well, do we have a
Snodlers
means
flips him
of
back, not knowing.
disguising, I guess?
We could. I'd suggest maybe one or two. Or just a few, not the whole group.
Suppose we could check that out on the way before the feet playing of festivals.
You and the feet thing, man.
It's a fest.
A festival of feet.
Feet vest.
Argo's like, our Feet Fest is going to be a fantastic Feet Fest this year.
Gross.
It is FEAT, right? And we're just rolling with it.
Yes.
So then I guess, Joysword, we are kinda in an understanding.
Well, I'm glad that no blood needs to be shed on this night.
I would have hated you to kill the boy.
Maybe someday it still might happen. And she just kind of like has like a sly side smile over at Vatoris.
Fucking hate everyone in this room right now.
But
Snodlers will wave his middle finger with a giant smile, not realizing that it was supposed to be negative.
That's Snodler's version of hello now.
Not yet, but if enough people do it.
For now, I guess.
what are you saying? Joysword can live for now?
I mean, from what she's saying, she had nothing to do with your whatever.
It's the ship she's hunting.
So,
Well, I mean, if you're going to use... I mean, if you trust her and have the better judgment, then I would assume you would want to go after the other ship, same as her.
Yep, you should be hunting that ship too.
If I had
But-
some way of contacting you, I would surely keep you in the loop when.
I'm
if I
like
were to
patting
find
myself down. Who the hell's got the shell phones?
I have both of them.
Oh, that's good. Maybe hand her one.
Snodlers thinks you could talk to your bestie whenever then.
Vatoris rolls his eyes at that and tosses her one of the shell phones.
Snodlers knew it.
She catches it, and which is really impressive because she only has one eye, so her depth perception is probably terrible. But she catches it, and she looks at it. She's like, I think this alliance will work out nicely. So, if either one of us spots the ship of the damned, we must track them and meet up, and together we can board the ship and take care of the undead fiends that sail in the darkness.
And get the little eyeball thingamajigger, the gem.
Does she think that's poking fun at her because she said eyeball?
No. Oh, like she said, she was like, yeah, I don't care about the gem. I trust that you will take care of the trident.
We will try. So, why do the Watchful Order of Mages want this whole thing? Did they know about this whole Dagon thing before?
Well, of course they probably do. My father, he was also a part of the Magus. He donated countless coin of his fortune to the Magus and financed all sorts of things at that tower over there. And they were responsible for keeping artifacts like this safe from evil.
Do they accept visitors?
Oh, I suppose They're friendly.
Do I trust you?
I don't know. I haven't killed you yet or lied to you yet, have I?
Well, the killing I can see that you haven't tried, and I don't know about the whole lying, but I mean, I'm gonna have to just. I mean, look at Argyle. I mean, I trust Argyle. So if he says you're an honest person, I will go on his word.
Aye, Watson, I trust this woman with my life. As once I trusted you as well. I feel like, again, if she has no reason to lie to you or to mislead you in any sort of way.
What was the organization called? Sorry.
Order of the Watchful Magi? Something
No,
like
not that one. The Shroud ones.
The Shroud of the Abyss. It's like a
Well then,
vampire
I guess-
cult.
I guess we can agree that we could have this help
Partner
with the shrouds. Yeah,
partnership.
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Well, very well. So she stands up off the bed and she walks over to Vasen and shakes your hand. It says,
Mhm.
I give you my word. This will
With
be
my other hand, I grab my gourd, take a sip of it, and hand it to her.
done. And she takes a sip back. I'll have her make a Constitution check.
Oh shit! If she fails, Yuri's about to get his chance.
I don't. Let me check her Constitution. She didn't roll super great, so.
I'm gonna make Argyle watch so we can cuckle him.
Oh wow,
That went even darker.
that went dark quick. I like it.
Argyle's just sitting there crying.
We had a thing. Yeah. So she rolls a 11. So it's probably good enough for her. She handles it, but you see her kind of hold it back for a second.
Good stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Got lots of barrels of that at home.
I've had stronger things in my mouth than that before.
I don't want to know.
Snuddlers is curious.
Yeah, me too.
Snuddlers is actually confused. Wouldn't you want to know, like, what other alcohol is stronger?
Maybe another time. So, do you guys have a place to stay? Because, no offense.
No, we do not.
You can't stay here.
Don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Do you think the Watchful Order is accepting patrons now?
And she says, well, it is quite late. They may not really be open. The museum hours are typically daytime hours.
Is it late? For some reason, I thought it was like afternoon.
It was dark when you guys were headed to this place.
Okay. I must be misremembering. For some reason, I thought it was in the afternoon when we headed there.
Yeah, you guys spent a couple hours like drinking and going throughout the town. It wasn't like a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah, we're trying to get information on them.
Gotcha. Oh, I think it was afternoon when we got here, and that just stuck in my head.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was like evening when you guys were headed out on the water taxi. Yeah, so she tells you like the Watchful Order of the Magus it has a museum to it. Many artifacts are on display for public viewing.
You think the gem's there?
I would think that the gem is on the ship of the damned. So
Got it.
Unless Dagon has it already.
Well, then, I guess we're gonna go find a place to stay. And we'll get in touch with you if we see anything.
The same here. If I find the ship, I will call you and expect you to honor your agreement and help me take the ship down.
Did she give a description of the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's black,
Okay.
black sails, full of vampires.
Oh, that's it. The 1,000 left Saltmarsh are all on this boat.
That's right. It's like Noah's Ark of vampires.
And if you hear anything or have any tips that would help us acquire that party barge from your buddy, from your fucking old swinging buddy, you let us know.
Our girl at that point looks a little bit pissed too. Like, fucking really. She says, "Yeah, I'll be sure to let you know." And that's step 2 on my plan of world domination. I mean, no, but
Everyone has to have.
Begler's kind of curious. What do you mean world domination?
that was a slip of the tongue. That was just a joke. I'm sorry, I'm not very funny.
Insight.
Dear God.
Don't mind the orc. He's simple-minded.
Says the dwarf.
But
No, that's the dog.
we really appreciate you keeping an eye out for us.
Wow. She's telling the truth. It was just a joke.
All right then.
All that conversation, how many times did she say she's telling the truth? He wants to insight check the joke.
Right.
Begler just looks right back at Vatoris and says, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell."
Damn.
Thank you for the shell phone.
My pleasure.
We'll be expecting it back after
Yeah.
we help.
Call me.
All right. So what are you guys doing at this point?
I guess we gotta find a place to sleep.
Snarler thinks we should steal that boat and then go use it and get it destroyed when we do the damn boat, and then take the damn boat and give it.
Yeah, you could just keep stealing new boats and just keep upgrading.
Yeah, except for the part where the Masaldis don't want the ship of the damned; they want the party barge, which is what it's going to be referred to from here on out.
That's good.
It could be the party boat of the damned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go party on the all-black ship with the all-black sails?
It's a
lot of emos.
killer time.
The goth kids.
I touch the table and I like turn it kind of like a different shade temporarily. I'm like, we can paint it.
Yeah, I guess we'll take our leaves. And on my way out, I'm gonna give Argyle some booze.
Argo like kind of talks low to you only about things. Like it's good to see you again, Valston. I'm glad these things went smoothly and didn't go the route that I was expecting it to go.
Yep, I'm glad I'm not dead too. And it's always good to. Glad you never turned us in back there.
No, I appreciate the guild. The travelers are good folk. Most of them.
Yeah, we're learning our paths, I guess you would say. So it's a learning curve, I guess. We all have to figure out.
Curve, that thing zigzags so fucking hard.
So he brings you guys downstairs and kind of escorts you out and he says, "Watch out for this." And you go by the cellar, and there's the you see the big things of the big crates that were on the like trapdoors that lead down to the cellar. He goes, "Please be careful walking around at night. There's scrags all over the place.
Scrags.
Horrible creatures that live in the water, especially underneath the city."
Like, not the ones we killed.
No, these are very nasty, large creatures with razor-sharp claws and fangs.
Can I roll something to see if I've ever heard of these things before?
Sure. Just do a history check to see if there's anything that you studied in the past that maybe you've heard of. So you've heard of creatures that dwell in the water that stand about 8 feet high, that are very resilient creatures. They're really hard to kill. But you take that up as you've never ever seen one. You just heard of the descriptions. But the word scrag, that's a new term for you. But
Thank you.
But you've heard of things that match this description. Things that also dwell in the Underdark, but maybe like a different variation of them. So anyway, yeah, Argo leads you guys back outside, and he gives you guys all handshakes and hugs, and says he loves you, man.
Yeah, don't die on us.
Yeah, he bids you guys farewell as he leaves you standing on the steps, and you're out in the nighttime. You smell the air. A little bit of breeze blows across the canals, and you can smell a little bit of this fishy sewage smell in the air. In the distance, you can see gondolas going up and down some of these side alleyways.
I'm gonna whistle and get one's attention.
It takes a little while, and eventually a guy shows up, and he lets you guys aboard and asks you where to.
Hookers and blow.
Before we leave, can I try to talk to Argyle alone?
Sure, yeah, you can hang back as everybody's waiting for the gondola. Argyle's in the doorway of the house. At this point, you see he pulls out a pipe, and he's smoking out a pipe. He's got this big cloud of smoke. And he's chiefing it up real good.
Chiefing it up.
Heck yeah.
I thought I might be thinking of the other game. I thought I found some tobacco, but no.
So as you approach him, he looks over to you, Vatoris, and he's like, "Are we good, boy?"
If you quit calling me boy.
Well, I can't guarantee that. And he just kind of chuckles to himself a little bit.
Well, I wish to apologize. Apparently I was wrong.
Well, it takes a big man to apologize.
And I'll stick my hand out.
And he shakes your hand and pats you on the back. He says, I knew you would never do anything anyway, boy. And he starts laughing. And he hands the pipe over to you. You want a hit of this? It's straight from Small Man. It's the good stuff.
Yeah, I'll take a hit.
Wait, is this the same world as your previous campaign?
Yes. It is.
Oh my god! I was like, wait a minute, that's familiar. I remember stealing a whole bunch of that shit.
Yeah.
I think we bought it. I thought we found some.
We found some and we bought some, but I'm pretty sure we basically just we were given a whole bunch because we liberated them.
Yeah, you liberated the farm that was all.
I meant in this campaign. I thought we found a pouch of it.
You did, yeah. In one of the earlier sessions, you found one of the guy who actually.
I don't.
A guy came from Liara. He was on a prison transport ship, It was one of the bounties that you actually did collect on. So yeah, the guy had a pouch of Small Man Farms tobacco. That was the infamous Yuri scene where he went into that house and found that woman tied to the bed. We won't go into any further detail.
Awesome. So then, right, I'm still chilling.
So, well, Vatoris is talking to Argyle. I'm going to address everyone else and just say how I feel Vatoris is such a pussy for not honoring his bounty.
but
Well, he can't hear me.
the bounty's kind of bogus. It's like misinformation.
Misinformation?
Yeah. I mean, if it's true, then it wasn't Joysword, and I mean, she seemed to be telling the truth. And we can only trust her as far as we can trust any pirate, right? Right?
I guess so.
We got a problem with fucking Renwick.
Yeah, I just want you guys to know I'm going to throw him a beating when we get back to the ship.
Well, I don't know if you got to do that, but we got to figure out what we're doing with this man. He is too well liked in this town to be trouncing him through here, bound and tied up as a
here's
captain.
the deal: if he has to die, Maglar is going to take care of him.
Oh,
that's the deal.
Like you drowned a puppy? Like, what do you mean?
No, I'd be drowning Yuri if I wanted to drown a puppy.
Damn. So you want to kill your stepdad for lying to you, I guess? I don't even know exactly what happened.
Are you saying you respect Renwick now all of a sudden?
Whoa. I did not say that.
It sounds like you said that. But why do you care?
Where are we supposed to deliver?
You were so obsessed in killing him, Boston.
No, Boston was the one investigating him in the first place.
Right, which made Renwick wanted to come after us.
I just don't want to kill a guy that's fucking tied up in a prisoner. It's just not right. I don't see how you guys don't see that. I'm so confused.
I'll do it.
Maglar's killing him.
Vatoris just looks over as we're just passing the pipe back and forth, wondering why Boston's yelling.
Yeah.
What is so confusing about if we're trying to be heroes, not to kill people that are captured?
If he has to die, then I will take care of it.
No, I'm saying...
So that you're going to have to take up with the people that we hand over to if that comes out.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's completely on them if they want to let you.
But you're still on Smeglar's shit list.
I didn't do anything.
Smeglar was trying to talk you out of the investigation.
Maybe we should settle this at Feet Fest.
He plotted and murdered people. I don't understand.
Because you triggered it.
I triggered it.
Wait, you're salty over an investigation?
Technically, Vossen, you're the reason Maglar doesn't have a daddy anymore.
He literally killed somebody in our town and tried to take it over and then tried to kill us. I don't understand how you're that upset. And he tricked you.
He damn sure did.
That's fake news.
He coaxed you into going to some island, and then he sent a dragon after him.
But nobody got hurt. I mean, was it really that bad?
My god.
I mean, everyone there got hurt.
As long as you aren't trying to kill an unarmed, captured person, whatever you want to try to convince the other people to do that you do with him is, I don't care.
Snoddlers will care as long as it's something weird.
Well, that's up to Maglar. I mean, he wants to do weird shit to his stepdad. That's on him.
I think we should just kill him.
I mean, he only allegedly killed an old lady, and you're just...
Meglar is just pretty much making the point that if any of you guys kill him, you'll be joining him.
Oh my goodness, Meglar.
I just start laughing at Meglar's big goofy ass.
Meglar slaps on Yuri and says, "Bad dog."
I think I'm gonna kill Drake now, just to spite Meglar.
Well, no one's killing anyone while he's in our possession. Okay.
Well, Meglar thinks he's gonna kill Yuri's brother next time he sees them. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'm hoping the gondola come. I'm like,
At this point, the gondola shows up, and you guys are all like ready to murder each other.
It's been there for 20 minutes already. They're just waiting.
The guy's hearing everything. He's like, "What the hell?"
I'm gonna ask if Argyle if they sell any of that around here.
Well, I got this from Liara, but you might be able to find some at Feet Fest. I'm hoping to re-up my supply tomorrow.
Is it pricey stuff?
No, not at Feet Fest. Prices are good. Take a look for the exotic meats too, Vatoris. You're a guy that looks like he likes meat.
Well, it's been real fun hanging back out with you, Argyle.
Yeah. I mean, Meglar does not hate Vaesen.
hey, Yuri.
But I think our gondola's here, so see you around.
He says, "Stay safe, Vatoris."
Hey, Yuri.
Yeah.
When you get a chance, get the shell phone from Vatoris and then sing into it. I'm gonna kiss you all over.
I'm gonna do that. Let's get some drinks and
You could
Vatoris.
like drunk call her.
Oh God.
Thank God it can't send dick pics.
No, you need the dick phone for that. Wait.
Alright. Where's what's his name? The guy that sells that stuff, Narjan.
We gotta find Narjan.
All right, so the gondola comes, picks you guys up, and he asks where you guys are going. Are you guys going back to the bar, or where are you headed?
An inn? Somewhere where we can sleep?
Should we go to the ship?
Snottlers is going to the ship.
Oh yeah, we could. That makes
You know,
sense.
when this is all over, Snottlers is looking forward to mentioning that to Vatoris that she used to call him on the shell phone.
Yuri's looking forward when this is all over to getting a peek at Snodler's journal that he's been writing all this time.
Really?
I think all you got to do is ask him, and believe me, he'll tell you all
He'll
about
show
it.
you everything.
I've been
I mean,
wondering.
You can read it if you want. Snottlers takes his book, digs his book out excitedly, and hands it over.
It's all in Gnomish.
No. Undercommon.
Can you reread Undercommon?
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that can.
I cannot.
So,
Although there are some sections in Common, but it's very apparently a table of words in Undercommon and words in Common. And they're all wrong.
Maybe you can read it to me sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Snottlers would love to. In fact, Snottlers' entire, most of Snottlers' life is about this book. It's all about Sunwalkers.
I'm
Didn't you
assuming
see-
the entire ride back to the
Oh, yeah,
to
no,
the
I'm
bar.
in it now.
Yeah.
I share that bond with Snodlers of Sunwalkers.
Yeah, so you end up hearing basically nonstop me talking about everything about these people that live on the surface and they get bombarded by a sun and everything's wrong.
Everything. That's true.
What was the thing about the chickens?
Oh, you're talking about the here. Let me look through my book.
It was a Snodler story.
The chickens on the surface require sun for photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis chickens.
Yeah, I mean, Vatoris told me about them. This has to be true. He would never lie to me.
I don't remember telling you they require photosynthesis, but we'll roll with it. while we're floating, can I try out?
Well, they didn't eat.
The spyglass.
Oh yeah, you sure can. So yeah, you go to try it, and you're like completely shocked at how clear that you have this perfect night vision spyglass, basically.
Fucking Hector's gonna be so jealous.
When he pulls the spyglass away, I'd like to point at Vatoris and like, Vatoris, Snodler sees that you have a black eye now.
I rub there, see if anything comes off on my finger.
You don't like the old telescope joke? Come on.
I know. That's why he's like, is it true?
No, there's nothing there.
Damn it.
So, are we back at the ship? Is that where we're going to sleep or whatnot?
Well, he brings you guys back to the just outside the Tipsy Sailor, where he drops you guys off at one of the little. There's like little spots where there's like a not really like a dock, but there's like posts that are hitched up to where you can stop a gondola and kind of keep it from floating away. So he stops it for the night, and he pulls it off to the side, and he gets off the ship and he says, I think I'm gonna come stop in for a drink myself. And so yeah, so you guys are at the back to the Tipsy Sailor.
The boat's not far, right?
No, the boat is right on the docks.
Okay, I want to head back to the boat, make sure everything's still in order. Make sure dipshit's still there. Megalar stepdad.
Nudge Kolos and say out loud, wonder if there's a whorehouse around here.
You know, I might have been thinking the same thing. I'm kind of like looking around, trying to find a sign that says whorehouse.
Well, guys, fancy that. There is a whorehouse in this place.
Aren't we just there? Joysword's spot?
No, it's owned by our favorite. It's owned by our favorite fellow, right?
Correct. Just say you're there with Renwick, and you can get any fucking hoochie you want.
We can take Meglar there with us and tell everybody that's his son.
All right, so you guys head back to the boat, and everything seems to be intact. You go down to the little makeshift brig, and Renwick's down there, and the Kenku's actually watching over him. So as you guys like walk down there to check on him, like Boomer, he's just like staring at Renwick, and he's going.
I was kind of hoping that he was mocking, like, "Hey, get me out of here! Help me out of here!"
No, he's just staring at him. And you actually hear him say, like, "Oh, run him through. I'm gonna run you through." And Renwick looks like he's sleeping. He's just on the floor, like he doesn't give a.
Does Boomer blink at all, or is he just staring hard at him?
Yeah, he barely blinks. I don't know if you've seen him blink.
That's not creepy at all.
Yeah, he's creepy as shit.
He's either went to sleep or he passed out in terror. Good work, Boomer.
But yeah, overall the ship looks intact. Popular Sub is got everybody, getting everything ready to let everybody have a little bit of shore leave for the day tomorrow. And so is that what you guys are gonna do? You guys are just gonna spend the night on the ship?
I'd say probably need to discuss what we're gonna do with stepdad.
I thought we were bringing him in to get the bounty.
Isn't the issue is he'll just get free?
I mean,
they like him here.
do we really need the gold? I want the gold,
It's
but
10,000 gold.
I was about to say, who is this?
10,000?
What have you done with Yuri?
25.
Snodler thinks that's 25% of an entire new boat. You know how much we've wanted one of those.
oh, should we?
But is there a point to turning him in if he's just going to get free to try and kill us again?
See, that's the tricky part is we don't know if the magistrate here are going to let him go.
Maybe you should do what Meglar said and just kill him.
I'd like to
I'd say-
watch Maglar
Again,
kill him.
I'm not
I would-
murdering a prisoner.
I would say worst comes to worst, we take him back to Seaton or Saltmarsh with us, because he's not getting away there.
We just tell him not to show his face back over in that our side of the fucking world.
I highly doubt he'll listen.
I agree.
I think we should just let Maglar kill him. Maybe that'll give him peace.
I mean, we can turn him in, or maybe trying to, entice him with freedom for some, he does know where fucking trident shit is.
Well, if we want the bounty, we have to turn him in here, though, right?
Yeah, but not here at the capital.
Or
We could turn him in here, but we don't know if he is going to make it to the capital from here because he is in with a lot of the people here.
I mean, we could take him ourselves, I guess, if you want.
Do we know how far away the capital is?
Yes, it's inland.
Yeah, it's 1,200 miles inland.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't think that's feasible.
We're going to have to walk through this city with a bound, most likely disguised person.
Not to mention, you guys haven't really explored this land before, but you've heard
Yeah,
of.
we have no idea.
There's a great desert. There's a huge, wild forest.
Yeah,
there's
so
all
I
sorts
don't-
of creatures, but
I don't think that's feasible. It's a little too far out of our way.
So that's kind of where we're at. We have to we can't keep him prisoner this whole time, but we may be able to bargain with him, get something out of letting him. I don't want to let him go, but I mean, we can't really do anything.
Why can't we keep him a prisoner until we get back to Saltmarsh?
I mean, we could. I mean, how long is that going to be?
Don't know.
I think we should.
So far, we've seen a bar and Joysword's house. That's it.
Well, in lieu of what Joysword just told us. I mean, we're going to be here hunting a ship, possibly. Feet Fest. We have to talk to the fucking Countess. I mean, he could be there weeks. In the ship's hold.
Well, is it Feet Fest only tomorrow?
no, Feet Fest is for a week. It starts
Oh,
tomorrow.
gotcha. So it's a week long
And
festival.
and we don't have no idea when or how long it's going to take for Joysword to find those a-holes.
Well, we're also on the lookout for
Agree.
a-holes.
Agree.
But I think in theory you could keep him on the boat as long as you feed him. He's got a bucket of shit in. Is it ideal? No. But I mean, we could turn him in. But we also don't know. Maybe there is somebody here who hates him, and we'll see. We don't know. We've seen the docks.
So we'll keep him on the boat until we talk to the Countess?
Yeah.
Maybe I should break his legs so he can't escape.
Oh, like that thing I heard called a misery or something like that.
It's from-
Exactly.
From that play.
Yes, the play. So then Renwick stays here.
Might as well make him part of the crew. I mean,
I know, Vatoris,
Nah.
interview him.
No.
Meglar, you want to go talk to your stepdad?
Maybe hug it out. Mouth hugs. That's how you guys do it, right?
is that wise? He might just snap and whatever.
Maybe he'll get closure, Maglar.
Okay, that's a bad call. Anyway,
All right. So, anything else you guys want to do for the night before you long rest?
Do we know who to talk to about? Because some of us were interested in joining Feet Fest, right?
yeah, we have to talk to some girl at the bar's dad.
Boyfriend?
No, her dad is the trainer. Her
Oh,
boyfriend is the one being trained.
Oh, got ya. Oh, so we can try and get in. Who's joining?
Which part?
Eldoron La is a trainer. La Quala.
Also,
La
just a
Quala?
little side note. That's not her dad.
He's the promoter.
Yeah, that guy you're talking about.
Yes,
Training
he's the
House.
promoter. The girl's boyfriend is being trained by him.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
Yes, and she works at the bar.
Right. Her dad is the bar owner.
That's right. Her dad's the bar owner.
Those are the elven people?
Yes.
Do we know what kind of events? Like, is it a team thing, individual?
There's both.
Gotcha.
And everything pays gold, so it's
Hell yeah.
I forget what it is. I think let me find where I put it. But yeah, you get per round you get 500 gold for solo tournaments, and you were told it's 2,000 gold per round for a team tournament.
It's fight to the death.
It's to the death. Yeah, there's no mercy.
Can you only do a couple rounds and then bow out, or are you in it until
It's
either you're on top?
Yeah, it's 3 rounds.
So you're in it until you die, or
Get rich
You
or
win
die
it all.
trying.
I mean, we're like gods. It's not all our shit to go and do it.
If we win, we get
6,000
meeting
gold
with-
per team.
a meeting with the Countess.
Yes.
That's the only way to get in.
Yep.
Is a team thing like a grand tournament?
No, so like the grand tournament, like I don't know if you remember, they talked about like there's a main event that's happening at some point during the week. There's a guy that's been in town, like the girl's boyfriend. He's fighting in the main event, but like leading up to it, they need to make sure that the events leading up to it are worthy of even being in the tournaments.
Gotcha.
So, like, if you let's just say you guys were to join, you wouldn't necessarily be in the main event, but it would be one of the like if you went a lot of rounds, maybe you would continue and day after day because it goes multiple days. It's fights all week. But
Gotcha.
the main event is the guy who's like the overall winner from like last year. The guy's been like in the fighting circuit for a while, and he's like supposedly the biggest badass.
Well, if every fight ends to the death and he's done it multiple years, he's got reason to think that.
But yeah, Voss right. Like one of the other things is when you win, you get audience with the Countess. She personally gets to talk to each of the winners of the fights.
I'm down for a team.
So,
The team tournament.
I'm sure Meglar wants to rip faces off, but we could do team tournament. So,
Is everyone okay with the team tournament?
I just want gold.
So are you going to do the team tournament with us and a solo run?
Yeah, Yuri, that's the way to go down right there.
So we win all 3 rounds as a team. That's 6,000 gold. And then is it 3 rounds for the single combats as well?
Single is 500 a round, so it'd be 1,500 for if you won all 3. Well, if you made it to the end of the little, it's like a mini tournament.
See?
And these happen all week. There's like little mini tournaments. So theoretically, you could do it multiple days. That may get boring, but if that's a route that you guys wanted to take, where you're trying to maybe raise money for a ship or whatever you're gonna do.
But we also need to swing by the Van Zagren's guild, see what we can snope out around there.
Oh, we can do whatever as long as we make our way to Candlekeep eventually.
We've been trying to get there for like 3 in-game months.
This is true.
All right, so you guys want a long rest and then wake up the next morning then, because whatever you're gonna do, you're probably gonna end up doing it the next day, right?
Yep.
I thought we were going to go see the boat, like, stop the boat.
Yeah. Unless you want to do that, that's a good idea.
Guess.
We're-
Who wants to do stealth run on the boat?
You know, it's it'd have to be on the water. Yeah, I mean, how late is it at night?
It's probably, let's see, it was evening, so it was like 9 o'clock probably. So it's probably like, it's late, but it's probably only like 11 or so. It's not late.
Do we know how far away it is?
I mean, the bar is still happening, and all you were told is that the Van Zagram Guild is on the north shore of the city. So theoretically, you don't know exactly where it is.
Like that area ish
Right.
is what we would think we know.
I know everybody can look at the map and see where a shipbuilding place is, but
I think you pointed it out, but
He did, but he did it for out of game purpose.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't remember if it was in or out.
Yeah, it was out of game purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you can
But
see it.
they
Like,
gave
out
us-
of game, it's way
yeah.
up here to the north.
But they gave us a direction what side it's on. So we don't know exactly where it is, but we know the direction to go to try to find it. So I mean, we could go look and see if we can find it. I mean, we could ask people where it is if we really want to risk it.
Well, I mean, we can, if nothing else, we can at least go up and look at the place from the outside, see, assuming we can find it, get an idea, and then tomorrow night actually go.
It'd be nice if Hector wasn't sleeping. He could just fly in there, fly out, look for shit.
I mean, as long as we could find it, I can send my owl just to see what to see, but we got to be able to. All we know is it's somewhere to the north. So, I mean, I'll try and head and find it. Anyone coming with?
Snoddlers can fly.
I mean, I could be stealthy if I'm not too drunk.
I mean,
I haven't really started today, so I should be alright.
I mean, you could always, ask a guy on a gondola, a taxi driver, hey, can you bring me to the shipwright guild?
That was pretty much the plan. I didn't plan on breaking in tonight, if nothing else, to send the owl.
I'm gonna change my clothes and put a disguise on.
Like a fake mustache?
I was gonna say he just puts on like a different set of the exact same clothes and a fake mustache that's like.
I was trying to
No.
see if I had anything in my inventory he
No.
could use as like a wig.
I'm gonna use my disguise kit.
That's where all the fake mustaches are.
Exactly, that's what a disguise kit is. It's like
Yes.
some charcoals you can draw
it's
like
actually-
a mustache on.
It's actually just a pair of glasses with a mustache.
So good.
And the nose.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so is that what's going on? You guys are headed out to investigate this thing.
Yep, Snoddlers is going.
I'm going.
Yep.
All right, so it takes like another hour or so. So it's probably about midnight at the time when you guys, make your way out on a gondola. It's getting a little quieter at nighttime. In the distance, you hear a few screams that are coming from the soak. Now that's the area that's, deep in the city. A lot of it's maybe a little bit more underwater, a lot where the dwellings are. But as you make your way north through the city, it gets pretty quiet. And just outside of this massive shipbuilding place, you see. Let's see. I'll put you on the map. Describe what we see here. So this is the outside of the Van Zagram's ship's Shipwright Guild. You see right from the outside. There's no guards around the place as you kind of approach the buildings. There's like 3 large buildings to the northern part of this place. You see the wooden docks around, and you see the large ship. This you can kind of assume this is the party barge. It has these massive like winches or like cranes that are erected on both sides of the ship. You can tell the ship is pretty much complete. It looks like it's all done from where you're standing.
Where did we come in?
You're probably actually on the opposite side, like up here. You wouldn't
Okay.
actually see, like you would see the buildings. I guess you'd be facing these buildings, but coming from the north. It looks quiet. There's no lights on in the place. There's like what looks like more of like a storefront. There's one building, and then there's 2 other buildings that look like large warehouses. In the rest of the place, you see the large ship. But it looks like the place is all buttoned up pretty good, and there's nobody around.
We're outside. Is it surrounded by walls or anything?
Nope. There's no walls or anything. It's just like a big open thing. Kind of what you see. There's like tools and all sorts of carts and logs, everything around, crates.
I'm gonna like jump fucking crate to crate. Where it's late at night, right? I want to look around and see if I see anything that normally wouldn't be seen.
All right, go ahead and just make a perception check just to get a general view of what you see around here. All right, so as you're looking around, you don't see anything out of the ordinary, which is quite peculiar too, at the fact that there's also no guards out here. Whereas Argo had told you that like during the daytime, there's mercenaries that watch over the place, but you're looking around and it's like really still. And there's like you see people's tools and toolboxes that are left out on top of like benches, and it looks like people work here and they just go home. Like it does. You would think like Vatoris said that there'd be walls around here or guards or something, but you look around and it's completely like it seems like I don't know if the people are here are super trustworthy or what, but it seems kind of odd to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep like to the shadows and like dodge around, try to get closer to the boat.
Before we walk in, I'm gonna use a first level spell.
Oh, what the fuck?
Ooh,
so-
nice stealth.
What the fuck?
To disguise self, and then I'll make my way forward. I want to try and get close to the boat.
All right, everybody else make some stealth checks.
How many of us are there?
What'd you say, Snodlers?
How many of us are there?
Well, the only one that said that we're going were me, you, and Vatoris.
Yeah, so
Make sure.
all right, so we're just gonna say there was Snodlers, Vatoris, and Vasan are investigating this place.
I get over to the thing and fart really loud.
So Vasan, yeah, as you're like stumbling around, because you have been drinking all night at the bar and stuff, but you have a little bit of a buzz. But as you kind of like sneak up near like this cart of logs, you kind of like make your way over to it, and you put your back up to it like you're being all stealthy and trying to hide in the shadows, and you bump into one of the buckles that are holding this cart. These big logs on the cart, and all of a sudden some logs just start tumbling out of the back of the cart. And as soon as that happens, you see across the way the doors of this massive warehouse like swing open, and all of a sudden you hear this loud and you look out as this massive golem comes walking out of the warehouse, and it's like facing your direction.
What? I want to like drop to the ground and roll underneath the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and make another stealth check.
Oh God, please.
Look at them high rolls.
Yeah, not high enough. So this thing is like it just like walks down the stairs and just starts heading your guys' way.
Which stairs?
So there's stairs by this warehouse. So it walks down the stairs. And you
Oh,
see this
I
thing,
got it. I was zoomed in too far.
And this thing looks like it's moving fast, like faster than you would expect a giant thing to be moving. And it's huge. It's like, it's probably a good like 10, 12 feet high.
Do I feel like it is beelining right for us all, right?
It knew
I
exactly.
think it's just coming after where I am, right?
I was just trying to look at what you guys rolled for stealth. Snarlers with 13 and Vatoris with 13. So yeah, he didn't necessarily see Snarlers and Vatoris right away, but as Vasen makes the noise, it like targets the cart, and then it sees Vasen actually roll under the cart.
I'm gonna get up and just start tearing ass out of there.
All right.
Do you want to?
When I get to like a nearest building, I'm gonna take.
You cut out.
God damn it! I'm gonna like dash away and then use my chain whip to try to like climb on top of a building.
All right, make an acrobatics check. All right,
Oh
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, so like the main house that looks like it's like where they do the business out of. You run up along the side of it, and you jump off some boxes, use your chain whip, and you grab a hold of like some of the siding, and you like whip yourself up, and you land up on top of these like terracotta roof, and you actually knock a couple of the things off it, but they're quietly fall off. Some of the shingles fall off and land in the crates, but you're standing up on top of the roof at this point. Not super stealthy as things are falling off, but so what are you, Vatoris and Snarlers, doing at this point? This thing's making its way closer.
Actually, moderately upset and staring where Vatoris going up the wall, like, well, can't fucking do that.
Boston.
Sorry. Look, everyone always has like the same character names. I don't know how we do this.
So many V's.
That's what he said. What are the odds I can actually get up this? I'm thinking pretty small, right?
It's like an embankment, and it's like a raised, it's probably about 10-foot raised stone ledge.
Is it like bulky enough that I might be able to like try to climb it up?
It's pretty smooth. It's like a straight up wall. It's like nice mason work. It would probably be difficult to do it, but I mean, obviously you can try.
Oh yeah, no, I totally am great at strength things. I'm gonna walk next to Vatoris and well, fuck this. So we're both invisible.
Okay, you're both invisible. Okay.
So it's a level 4.
Okay.
Quickly, once he does that, I want to get out of its path.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to run up the stairs and go to Vatoris. He must know something.
Boston.
God damn it! Fuck all y'all.
I'm assuming the golem's coming after me.
Yeah. Because it heard you with that 9 stealth check as you knocked some of the shingles off, so it's still coming in your general vicinity. Yeah. And Snarlers and Vatoris, you guys are completely invisible, so he doesn't notice you at the point.
We can still make stealth checks for sound.
Yeah, when he gets closer, I'll let you do that.
All right. Just don't want to negate it entirely.
No. Of course, I'm gonna make you make some stealth checks.
Yay!
Yeah. So you got like a minute or so as this thing starts closing in. It's moving quick, but it's still like on the opposite side of this entire. I don't know what you call this, like this factory sort of thing.
I'm just gonna like be like shit, like because I knocked that down and just not even like skip a beat, knowing that I definitely made too much noise and just trying to run out of the area.
All right, so you're gonna probably run back towards, I'm assuming there's like a gate, kind of like a main entryway.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to get out of there because I fucking alerted everything.
All right.
And like anytime I could like jump across like from building to building, I'll do that. If not, like I'll jump to the ground, like tuck and roll, and then do the same kind of use the chain whip to like get on top of the buildings.
Nice, yeah. So I assume you kind of like make your way You see the chain whip to like swing off the chimney, swing around the place really quick, and you're on the opposite side of the building in like half the time that this thing would even know you're there. And you land at the you're kind of standing near the entrance to the place, kind of off the property limits. As it kind of like makes its way, you can hear it like climbing up the stairs.
Styler sees Vossen like do all this shit. He's like, "Well, me too," and he like tries to like carefully slide down the embankment.
All right, so now
He grabs the edge and lowers himself on, like.
Now,
let go.
just go ahead and make a stealth check. Yeah, so as you like,
Wait. That was acrobatics. I was trying to.
Yeah, with that
down.
acrobatics check with a 6, and you leap over the railing, and you end up like catching your foot on it, and you slide over, and you kind of knock over a few of the pebbles, and some of the like wood planking that's like at the top of this thing, and it just kind of like falls down. It's like a fence that's across there, so one of the top planks falls down, and the thing shifts its gaze towards your direction. It doesn't quite see you, but you have a feeling it knows something's up where you're at.
With invisibility, any action gets rid of it. Is that an action that is... The spell ends for the target that attacks or casts a spell. If I like throw a stone, is that an attack?
I'm gonna say no, and unless you're like attacking the
Yeah.
creature.
I have no intent on dealing damage. I'm trying to...
If you want to make a distraction, I'll give that to you. As just
right.
you pick up a stone because you probably do it nonchalantly. You're at the other side of the embankment now, so.
Yeah, so I'd like to pick up a stone and try to like throw it at, what are these, boxes?
Yeah, there's like crates and stuff. So yeah, so go ahead and make an athletics check. It doesn't go very far, but it bounces off the cobblestone streets over here, and it makes enough noise where all of a sudden you stop and you watch, and this thing shifts its view and it starts heading back down the stairs.
I could never see over this, so it's like I hear him stop.
No, you would actually see him because this embankment is 10 foot, but
it's huge.
He's like 10 feet tall. Yeah, so you can see its head over the top of this thing, and you can see its eyes lighting up in the night sky. Like this is not something you want to be messing with right now.
At half speed, I would like to try to like get over here. Is that advantage if I'm going half? Like I don't remember what the rules are with that. There's something with that for stealth.
So where are you trying to go? Oh, okay, on the other side. So if you're gonna go at half speed, I'm gonna assuming that you can make a stealth check with advantage. Yeah, because you're gonna be extra quiet. So yeah, go ahead. All right, so you probably make your way on the other side of these the carts and stuff, and you seem utterly silent as it starts making its way towards the last known thing. Vatoris, you're still hidden on the other side of the wall. Is there anything you want to do?
Does this ladder go up to the deck?
Yes, that ladder leads up to the ship.
And this is the ship that we're looking for?
You can assume, yeah. You only see like one. I don't know what these are called, like dry docks or whatever. Like this is like the only one that they have. So they build one ship at a time. So, assuming that this is the ship that's basically completed now, that you can assume that's probably the pledging lady, the butcher's pleasure ship.
I'd like to very quietly as possible, climb the ladder to the top of the ship.
All right. As soon as you start climbing the ladder, another warehouse door flings open, and you hear poof as another golem comes out of the warehouse.
Can't even climb the ladder?
And this time it's got its view on the ship.
Do I know that it's because I got on the ladder?
Make an intelligence check. Straight intelligence. Yeah, you have a pretty good idea that whatever it is you did, as soon as you started touching this thing, you set off some sort of trigger, some sort of alarm that alerted this thing.
Then I jump off the ladder. I guess scurry around the side of this wagon.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth check. All right, yeah. So you're far enough away where you're hidden behind the 10-foot wall, then a wagon, so you can safely know that you're out of view of this thing. So now I'm assuming now you're probably shitting yourself as you see a second one of these golems make its way across the courtyard.
Not yet. I don't know if they can see through invisibility. That's when I'll poop.
Good idea. Yeah, so that's the sight you're seeing. So this thing is making its way towards these crates. The other one's making its way toward the ship. But yeah. So what do you guys want to do at this point? Vasson, what are you doing? You're probably back by the entrance.
Is the other one? Do I have the other one's attention, or do I notice it going back to whatever Snothers was doing?
Yeah, from where you're at, you could probably see the new one that just came out, and I don't know if you can see the other one that's kind of behind walls and stuff, but you definitely hear the stomping around. You can hear distinct two sets of footsteps. So.
I am going to make a shitload of noise.
Nice.
And then breathe a fireball in the air from my staff.
Yeah, and as soon as they hear all this noise, they're alerted to your presence, and they both start dashing across there. So now there's make a dexterity saving throw.
Or get your skull crushed in.
Nice. So you just dive out of the way as you see this golem smash through these all these barrels right here. There's literally just shrapnel everywhere, and you tuck and roll, and you're kind of surprised at how fast these golems are moving. The second one, he does the same thing. He dashes across here, but he's a little more delicate.
As they go and do that, I'm going to try to run basically up the stairs where they came from.
Okay. Yeah, so at this point they don't hear you because they're like smashing, like running full bore. You hear these giant metal feet just clang, clang, clang.
And after I see that I have their attention, I'm going to fucking just book it and just do that whole style of like anytime I had a chance to like jump across buildings or scale them with the chain whip for help. That's what I'm going to do as I'm running, trying to like lure them away.
All right, go ahead and make another acrobatics check. Yeah, so you do the same thing. You climb up on one of the buildings and like leap across, and starting to pull their attention as they're kind of like following the perimeter of the building without going off the property limits. But you kind of like brought their attention, brought them to the front of the facility, and if that happens, you also see some lights start flickering as candlelight inside the main building here.
Was there only one entrance? Or wait, no, this place wasn't gated, right?
Right. But like to the south is where the water's edge is. So like this map is like theoretically upside down from what the world map looked like.
Gotcha.
So this way, south is north and north is south theoretically, but yeah, like back towards where Vasson is, toward the front is where the waters, the flood waters, and the gondolas are. All right, so now you make your way up to the warehouse. Now both of these doors are open to the warehouse.
I will slowly and carefully enter.
You start walking in there, and you notice that there's a third of these giant golems. This one is not active, but it's about 40 feet in front of you. as you look around, there's also all sorts of stacks of treated and cut lumber and planking and deck supplies, and there's giant crates of nails and all of the buildings for creating ships, all sorts of planers and all sorts of machines, it looks like, that help aid in making these ships. Things that you probably haven't seen before, like giant clockwork inventions and steam-powered machines.
So everything probably looks foreign, so I wouldn't be able to say if anything looks out of the ordinary because everything looks crazy and awesome.
Basically, yeah.
But I'm probably also fearful of what's going to trigger this last one
yeah,
because
probably.
they just randomly leave. No idea. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not in its line out of a door, the closest door that it has ever. And I guess I'm going to start like slowly tiptoeing around.
All right.
Like, is there an office? Is there a desk? Is there something that I can...
Yeah, so outside, so as you leave the warehouse, the only thing you see is you see the same thing. As you look over toward like where the offices are, you see lights now inside there, like candlelight.
So I went into the storage area where the golems are.
Right, yep.
All right, well then I will not too slowly just meander my way over to the other side.
All right, yeah. So these things are actually probably to the front of the place. Voss is
Yeah.
kind of distracting them as you make your way around. You can see as you make your way by some of the windows, you see some movement. People walking around, kind of woken up in the middle of the night.
All right, that's good for me right now.
Vatoris, anything you want to do?
How tall was this wall?
So it's probably about 15, 20 feet.
What about this platform?
Platform, I had to zoom out. Where are you talking about? Oh, down there. Yeah, so those are probably about that same height, about 20 feet. You see these giant cranes.
I want to quietly make my way down to the platform, gingerly touch the ladder to the crane.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So you touch the crane. Nothing happens that you know of at the moment.
I don't hear a door get kicked out.
No, like the door doesn't kicked out of the.
I want to climb to the top of the ladder and see. Is it level with the top of the ship?
Yeah, it's basically the platform's at the same height as like the sides of the ship. Yeah, it's the main deck, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Can I look down and see like how the ship is secured inside the dry dock?
Yeah, so when you look down through there, the ship is just resting on timber, so there's nothing securing it down there. It looks like it has these giant hooks that are like built into the sides of the ship, and the cranes themselves have large hooks on them where you can see they must somehow like grab a hold of it. The cranes can lift it up and swing the ship out of the dry dock.
And it looks like the ship's pretty much done.
Yeah, it looks pretty much done from what you can see. The masts are there, the sails are on it.
Are they giant and black?
No, they're like they're just standard white canvas sails. The ship is very nice. It's got very like beautifully stained mahogany deck. Looks definitely like it's gonna be like a pimped out ride.
Would I know how I would need even just a skeleton crew? Would need to actually sail it?
Well, you can see that it's slightly bigger than the Sea Ghost.
She's a 3-master compared to our 1-master.
Right. So it might take a few more crew members. So it'll probably take, at least the 7 of you guys to get it out of here. Or to steer it and man the sails.
Well, we've also got to get it back.
So yeah, so while you're up there doing that, you see one of the golems start heading its way back towards you.
I'm going to quickly get down That how far off the ground is this cart?
There's a couple feet, 4 feet. There's like little like repurposed mining carts that help them, bring supplies closer to the
Is
ship.
it tall enough for me to climb under?
Not to climb under. It's
Okay.
probably like barely a foot off the tracks.
I'll make my way back up to the cart and just see if they will eventually head back into. Give it a few minutes, see if eventually they'll get tired of looking, or if they're just going to patrol the rest of the night.
Okay. So that's your plan. Voss and Snothers, anything else you guys want to do with
I'm doing my best I can to distract them, to give them time to look around.
Benny Hill distract them too.
Yeah.
So what were the doors made
Making
out of?
noise to make them not be back there is what I was doing.
So
running.
what were the doors made out of in the warehouse that these things busted out of?
They're wood. So the doors were just opened up. They weren't like busted through.
Yeah. I meant like
I just wanted
with
to make
haste.
Yes, it is opened with haste. But yeah, they're just wooden doors.
All right, and I'd like to cycle around the outside of this upper building and kind of get a gauge for the people inside and how many.
Yeah, do a stealth check. You can do it at advantage. You're still invisible at this point. All right, so as you kind of like walk around and you're peeking through and trying to get up on your tiptoes and look through the windows, you start seeing there's probably about 6 or 8 people. You see an older gentleman, and they're getting dressed, and it looks like they're grabbing arms and assembling. There's definitely the older man, and there's another guy that seemed to be in charge, a little bit younger. He looks similar in stature to the older man, and they're gathering up a couple other people, and it seems like they're alerted to intruders.
So at this point, do I feel like I'm jumping probably to look in this window? Are they are the workers also living here, or is this just like a small subset?
Yeah, these don't look like they're necessarily the workers. These look like some owners, or possibly a few of them that look like they're gathering up arms. Look a bit older, look a little more weathered. Like these guys look more like they might be some mercenaries.
Got it. All right.
Meglar's back. He's busy sucking his daddy's D. Ooh.
All right, so for the most part, as you're doing this now, there's eventually, after just a couple minutes, a bunch of these soldiers, they look like soldiers, make their way outside. It looks like there's 4 of them, and they're dressed in garb that looks like it was at one point similar to what you guys had noticed in the tavern. They had the same emblem of the Kree Empire. They have like the red dragon symbols on their shields, but you can see that they've been kind of like painted over, so it's no longer red. It's like a black dragon, but they have similar armor to what they had. I thought I had some artwork to show you, but I don't know if I show to players if I give you all their stats or not.
It will.
Okay, so I won't do that.
You can show us. It'll be fine.
That's okay.
As long as they don't have dragon breath, it'll be fine.
And then we turn and fight.
And then Boston sucks Haugen dick.
Whoa, there's no Sahaugen here.
I thought
But
one of us
Boston
was.
wishes.
You don't gotta be mad because you're off sucking your fucking stepdad off.
They
right?
didn't.
You
leave
don't
the
have
door
to be mad
open
at me because you're sucking Sahaugen dick.
They didn't leave the door open or anything, did they?
No, well, the door's open, but there's also like people standing at the door. Like it looks like the older gentleman's standing at the door. He has a cane in his hand. Oh yeah, these guys are coming out. They're coming down the stairs, and you hear them like shouting, and they're like yelling to like around, like, "Come out! We know you're here. Surrender now. There's no escaping." And you hear the old guy inside.
I just
Let me know when the coast is clear. You hear from behind him the other guy saying, "Father, perhaps you should stay back inside."
Are these like glass windows, like around the outside edges?
Yeah.
All right. So as these guys start going down the stairs, I want to try to get close and see if I can't like ninja my way in the door. Like if I see an opportunity, I'm gonna try.
So yeah, you are small. So make an acrobatics check.
Yes, what I'm great at. I'm great at everything.
Oh, perfect. So you go to like squeeze by at one point when you see the old man turn his back. He's getting ready to go inside. And you think this is the perfect moment. But as you squeeze by, you knock the cane out of his hand, and he stumbles on the floor. And as that happens, you trip over him, and you make another stealth check.
Yes.
So you stumble into the room, and you like thud flat on your back in the room, and all of a sudden, the younger guy, the son, he stops and he's like, "Oh, what in the hell was that?" And he pulls out a sword and he's like just waving it in your general direction.
Uh. Does you want to switch to the other guy right
Sure,
now?
sure. Vatoris, you're close enough, hiding around the cart, where you see these soldiers exiting the building.
What can I tell? What general direction they're gonna go?
It looks like they're just fanning out, so they're kind of like they're all going to start patrolling the grounds, while the golem is also still patrolling. The other one, Vasen, has distracted out in the front.
Would I know that Snodler's just fucked himself?
Probably not.
Probably not. You probably heard a little bit of commotion. You can make a perception check to see if you would have heard what was going on over there. You're looking in that direction, but all right. I set the DC pretty high, so that's a good thing. So yeah, you probably heard the commotion. You might have heard the old man fall down. Not necessarily. You wouldn't know that it's Snodder's. He's invisible, but you did hear the old man fall down in the doorway.
Gotcha. I'm gonna. Well, obviously, waiting's not gonna work anymore. So I'm gonna start as quietly as possible. Start waking my way towards the property line, I guess.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth check. Oh, damn you, Vatoris. Damn you. All right. Yes, so
Plus 11.
Yeah, you make your way around the house in the dark, and you make your way back to the front property. And at this point, you can see off in the distance, Vasen's up on a rooftop, and he's kind of like goading this golem to like come near him, and you can see it like clanging around the front of the property, kind of near the water's edge.
Is Vossen down here?
Vasen's like off the map to the right, like probably just above these buildings.
Is it just one or both?
Just the one that's kind of distracted. It's off with him. The other one is still patrolling, headed towards like the platform and the ship where it last heard your.
Where I touched the ladder.
Touching the ladder, yeah.
I touched the shit out of that ladder. What are the guards doing? They look like they were about to. They're not coming to the property line, right?
No, they're kind of patrolling around the ship. You know, they all have swords and shields drawn. These guys are fully armored, and they look like they mean business.
Is there anything to hide in or around near the property line?
Not near the front. The front's pretty empty. You have the building, and then you're back into the city streets where there's the gondolas. And it's extra dark out at night. It's probably the only saving grace you have out front.
I'm gonna, I guess, do the best I can. Maybe try to find some tall grass, get down low, and I'm gonna summon my owl. See if I can figure out. I know where Vossen is because he's blowing fire and swinging around like Indiana Jones. See if I could figure out where Snodler's is. I know it's going to be difficult because he's invisible. That drops invisibility on me, right? Because that takes an action to summon.
Cast a spell?
It's casting a casting a
Yeah,
spell.
I've already cast the spell, but it's an action to summon and re-shunt him back.
Well, I mean, an
I'm
action
fine with
would
it.
probably be just a verbal thing. So I don't know. I'm okay with that. I'd say you're still invisible
It's verbal, semantic, and material, but
to cast a spell, but to
yeah.
summon him, I don't know. That's like a weird gray area.
That's why I asked.
Please read my novel.
It's not my fault. I'm trying to find
See,
the...
it says when your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically, and as an action, you can see through it. So I'm assuming you can you're telepathically summoning him back to you.
Yeah, I completely agree with you that it's all you're I don't think there's anything that says one way or the other what it is.
It just says, as an action, you can temporarily dismiss the familiar to a pocket dimension. Alternatively, you can dismiss it forever.
Yeah, so I think you're good. I'd say you're still invisible. You're near the front, and you see one of the guards. He's kind of making his way out towards you, but yeah, these guys, nobody sees you. And right now, the guards don't see Vossen up there as they're still patrolling the actual grounds and not interested in the front of the building until one of them notices that the golem is missing. Sal, is there anything else you want to do in the house?
Well, now that I'm laying on the ground and the dude's swinging a sword, does it look like he's swinging close to me?
Yeah, he's swinging just above you. He's probably about 2 feet from your body.
I got him small. In my shitty haste and scaredness, I probably would try to roll around and get towards the edge of a wall.
Okay. Makes sense. All right, yeah. So you easy enough. You just kind of roll and you back yourself up towards the corner of this building. And as you kind of do that, you stop and look around, and it appears to be an office, and it's partitioned off. This might have been a house at one point. So you see the offices and the bedrooms are all part of this big living room. It looks like they made I don't know, I guess you'd say bunks for these mercenaries of the room that you're in.
If I've collected myself, I doubt they're going to stop looking for me. So are there actually desks, tables, paperwork, anything here?
Not where you're at. You're in, like I said, the back room.
Right.
But you can see there's a hallway that leads up towards the front where there might be other rooms.
Out of ridiculousness, if I grabbed something after invisibility is cast and shoved it in my pocket, what would happen?
I think once you put it in your pocket, it's going to be invisible.
Because the text reading just says everything on you when you cast a spell is invisible, but it doesn't really say what happens after the fact, I think.
Yeah, right.
But I think I would agree with you, but I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, so there's not a floating piece of paper floating.
Right. I would rule if it goes in your pocket, it's going to be invisible. If you're carrying it, it's not.
Yeah, it's like the cloak of invisibility.
It's like Harry Potter's stuff. So.
Yeah. All right. So as he's swinging, I'm going to wait for the opportunity to try to cartoon tiptoe down the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
Thank God.
All right, yeah. So you make your way down the hallway, and you look left and right, and you do see there's an office. And you see a couple other bedrooms.
Do I see another exit door? Obviously, or do I know which door is the one that had all the guys in it? Because I saw it outside, right?
Yeah. So you are in the room with all the guys in it, but as you make your way down the hallway, you see the front lobby, and there's the front door. But also, you as you run down the hall, you see 2 bedrooms. Doors are open besides this room, and then you see an office.
I'm gonna try to go into the office.
All right, so the office door is open. As you walk in there, there's a desk and a couple like filing cabinets. And
I'm going to just investigate all of the papers on the desk. I assume that there'd be a whole bunch of random ass paperwork from billing and stuff. If this is the only shit they can do, pretty much any paper I find, I'm going to assume is based on the shit that they're working on. Although obviously it could be the next one, but I'm just making that assumption.
yeah, so just by looking at the paperwork on the desk, like most of the stuff looks like it's like shipping and inventory lists of everything that's in stock and things that have come in to port, and not necessarily everything for this particular ship, but it's definitely all like goods of sales.
Yeah. So we know where Dude Bro his house is and stuff, right? I think that's one of the things that we got, or that's one of the things that we were missing. I don't remember.
Whose house?
The guy who, like, we don't know where the guy that owns this boat, like, stations, right? We just found his, like, crap island. Was that same guy?
Oh yeah, the butcher. Yeah, so you don't know where the butcher. You don't really know anything really about the butcher other than he's a big badass that runs the pirates, and you found his secret like pirate island, and he had a big mansion on the island.
Yeah. All right. So I guess my intent is to look for any information on him or how to contact him or anything in that regard.
All right. So after that, you look over. You see there's nothing on the table or the desk like that. So you eye the filing cabinet. So you go ahead and try to open the file cabinets, but it's locked.
I obviously do not have thieves' tools. All right, time to banish it and then just go pick it up on the other plane.
Nice.
Just
The entire filing cabinet is mine now.
Well, I couldn't pick the lock. I don't have knock or anything stupid either. Yeah, for some reason I didn't expect to be running a stealth subterfuge mission.
Things never go the way you plan.
I have Evard's black tentacles prepared though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my toolbox doesn't have anything to do with this. All right, is there a window in this room?
Oh yeah, there's a window in the room.
All right, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna unlock the window.
Yeah, window opens up.
No, I guess that's a good idea. I'm gonna slide out the window and then close it behind me.
All right.
I just wanted to unlock it, and then I was thinking about going out the front door, but that was stupid. So you're right.
Yeah, you slip out the window, but as you go out the window and you're like watching as you close it, you see the younger guy. He's like still like he's searching around the house now, and he's still kind of like wildly flailing the sword as you figure you got away with it as you're standing outside the window down the opposite side of the building.
Did he see me? Did he see the window close?
No, he didn't.
All right, because one of my intents was to hope to keep that window unlocked. Obviously,
it's like you made it just in time as you walk by. You see him walk down the hall, swing at the sword.
All right. I guess I'm going to try to commit as much of the locations and stuff to memory as possible. The room that contains all those guard dudes, it's multiple rooms, right?
Yeah, there's multiple rooms in the place, but there's one large room that used to be like looked like a big living room that they transformed into like a bunk area for the soldiers. But then the front there's two bedrooms, and then but two bedrooms, an office, and the lobby for customers.
Yeah. All right, that's good for me right now.
All right, so yeah, you're probably on the side of the building near the. I just put you off the map, but yeah, you're.
Yeah, I can grab myself.
Okay. All right, so essentially, yeah, you guys are all. Now there's a Vatoris. You guys are outside the range as the golem starts getting closer up to the side of the building as it's like locked on to Vatoris's or Vasen. A few of the soldiers, mercenaries, they start heading off in that direction too. Go ahead and make another stealth check, Vasid.
I hope you fail, because that's what you're trying to do, right?
No.
So is this?
I'm trying to be sneaky and like move place to place and then make noise so they have to go somewhere else, kind of thing.
Oh, that's
so
smart.
like I don't want to be seen, but I want them to be distracted. So like I'll be stealthily jumping from building to building, them not seeing where I go
Got it.
next, and then making noise so they go to there.
That makes sense.
So the golem seems to always be like locked on to your presence, but the mercenary that runs out towards the front of the buildings, he is looking around. He doesn't notice you. He's just kind of following after the golem, and you hear him calling back to some of the other guys, like over here, over here.
Like eventually, like if they get too close, I'm just gonna literally just sprint through the rest of the town and get back home and be like, well, I did what I could.
Okay, yeah, because they're just gonna walk up to the edge of the property and make sure that nobody is on the property anymore. They're kind of assuming that whoever was here just took off.
Yeah, that was the plan. Like get them all to run there and being like, dude, what the fuck's going on?
Is that what you guys are doing? Snothers, Vatoris, same thing. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna use the owl to just look around, see if, I mean, other than have it fly above, see if, like they detain Snodler, see if, Vossen has been caught, but if they're still just looking around after, 5 minutes or so, I'm just gonna slowly make my way back to the, I guess is there only one gondola area?
no, I mean like you're right in the middle of town, so they're around again. Like you look out into the water and you see like lantern lights where these gondolas are just like these guys are making their money just patrolling the waters.
Gotcha.
With a 17 perception, do I see his owl bird thing?
Yeah, I'd say you'd see the owl.
I invisibly middle finger wave at it.
The owl does not take notice of you.
All right, so after a little while, the activity starts calming down as you guys kind of, clear the building.
How many big like golem-sized doors were there? 2?
There were just 2 massive doors in the
Right.
warehouse, but there was another warehouse over here that you didn't check out.
Where?
So there's like 2 doors in this warehouse, 2 individual doors, large doors. Then there's another warehouse that's like connected to the other one with another large door on it.
My brain assumed that was like one L building.
Oh, my bad. I tried to say
No,
at the beginning
no.
there's 3 buildings altogether that's on the property.
Yeah, I somehow thought that we were just missing it or something. That was my bad. All right. Oh well.
All right, so you guys essentially make your way back to find yourself a ride and head back to the ship, I'm assuming.
Yeah, sure.
Unless you guys had other plans.
No. After that fiasco, I feel I'm done for the night. I don't know about the other 2.
Yeah, so it's probably about midnight by the time you guys make your way back to the ship after scouting out the shipwright guild.
Yeah, well, we learned they have giant fucking golems and lots of mercenaries.
I wonder why they don't work during the day.
I'm sure the golems are there.
Probably. Maybe it's so they don't kill the workers.
How far off? I mean, like this was pretty damn close to the water, right? Like a dry dock is literally usually in negative space.
Yeah, this is pretty close to the water.
But like normally a dry dock, like you open the door and water floods it. Now it's floating.
Gotcha.
So is that this case, or are they using magic so it's actually like out of the water?
No, it looked like it was the same sort of thing. Like you could see the water was actually like Vatoris noticed the water was actually just underneath the ship, the front of the ship. You could see
We're literally like on a beach, basically. Then.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So it's not like there's a 20-foot drop or anything crazy to get to the water.
No. So like Vatoris would have seen that there's a couple of these giant cranes that like help lift the ship out of off the timbers and just kind of place it. You know, it's only moving it enough to get it into the water, and then it can shove off.
All right.
I don't know if that guy's helped you in any sort of way figuring out how this heist is going to work, but
Well,
You're talking to me particularly, or everyone?
yeah, to any of you guys.
Yeah. No, that was. I mean, now we know what type of enemies to deal with. I mean, that's huge. Although now they're alerted to our presence too, so whatever.
Right. So you guys want to do anything else? You want to head into the morning?
I don't think we can do anything else.
yeah, no.
It was a pretty eventful night.
Yeah,
That it was.
I'd at least try to haphazardly describe that the office had a locked filing cabinet. I was trying to figure out more about the butcher. Had nothing. The one of the two warehouses just had another golem, so there's 3 in total. And that's pretty much all I got.
I'll give him what I saw looking from the crane, but I don't know. And let him know that, like, as soon as I touch the ladder, here came a second golem.
Booby traps. All right, so I'm assuming you guys long rest. And wake up early in the morning, excited for the Feet Fest.
You guys want to tell me what happened last night?
Snodler's almost died.
He did.
I take it you didn't find the ship.
Oh, we found it.
We found it. We found the shit out of it.
Snodler's almost died.
I mean, is it possible for us to steal it, or we have to?
I don't know if we're gonna be able to steal it. They got some pretty serious fucking shit guarding that.
3 giant statues.
Yeah.
I mean, would it help? Would it help if there's no busting in there and just taking it?
No.
Oh.
We were sneaking in there and we couldn't take it.
More robots came when I touched the ladder.
Robot, you say?
Statue. I don't know how. Like, I probably would have just thought it was a moving statue, right?
Yeah.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, they're like clockwork sort of creatures. Like these large, like steam-powered creations.
Maybe it's good I didn't go then.
Yeah, they pretty much chased me around the whole time.
They would have heard you clanking around.
So, Feet Fest it is today, boys?
Feet fetish.
Yeah. I think so. God, I'd be so sad if that's all it was, just a week long.
Like a kink fest.
Everyone's sniffing each other's feet.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of halflings, like sniffing feet.
I don't want to know what they consider a winner. Snoddlers opens up his spellbook and makes every spell slot fireball.
Perfect. All right.
This is a long rest, right?
Yeah, so you guys can all long rest, heal up.
And I am pretty sure that I am close, if not over, the time for me, like 30 days for me to Nestul's Magic Aura by heart. That's permanent.
All right.
I feel like that is true.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's probably been
All right.
30 days, yeah.
Are you going to use that thing now?
No, I've been using it. It's just now. So it gives off a ridiculously huge aura of magic. So I've been using a medium-sized spell slot every day to basically hide it and make it look mundane and look like just a normal heart that I have in a bag. So if someone uses I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's like even detect magic.
Yeah, like detect magic or like scrying or something to find. I mean, there's a reason why this is right behind every corner.
You change the way the target appears to spells and magical effects, such as detect magical auras. You make a non-magical object appear magical, a magical item appear non-magical, or change the object's magical aura so that it appears to belong to a different school of magic that you choose. So in this case, with this reading, I tried to make it so that it was mundane. So I'm just holding a heart. I mean, obviously, it can be dispelled. There's like a whole bunch of other stuff that can happen. I'm sure there's some level of true sight or something else that goes beyond this, but I'm trying to make it so we're not just literally a walking beacon, because I think the aura was like 100 feet or something crazy.
All right, so are you guys ready to head out to Feet Fest, or what do you want to do?
So Snodulus thinks that we need to figure out this boat thing fast, because they're likely going to accelerate our deal, potentially. If they think anything is going on, they may think someone's trying to steal it. So we need to be on the lookout for the pirate beard.
Yeah.
So how long is Feet Fest? How long do we have to fight?
A week?
Do we have to fight all week?
I don't know. I know nothing about Feet Fest.
You can fight all week, but I think it's just 3 rounds during each day, right?
But we want to see the last guy.
Well, Feet Fest is other than just the fights. That's just like at nighttime. There's the fights.
Got it.
All week during the day in the market is this grand bazaar.
How bizarre. Well, Snodlers is up for a feet festin as long as it doesn't involve real feet. But we got to make sure that we don't lose that boat either.
All right, so let's do that. When you guys head out, it's pretty early in the morning, but as you make your way into the city streets, you see a lot of people heading on gondolas and taking the dry route around the city, which is actually you can walk around the long way and you go right to the central market, and you'll see that there's these large marble walls that kind of separate this section from the rest of the city, and it's completely dry as you make your way into the inner walls. You can see guards everywhere. Here's these Kree Imperial guards that have full armor that's kind of like red leather mixed with splint mail, and they all have these shields and those dragon symbols everywhere. As you make your way closer and closer to Feet Fest, you see there's crowds and crowds of people. Everybody's kind of pushing, and everybody seems excited and joyous. So you start hearing the sounds of music being performed, and you smell the greatest smells traveling around the air. It smells of meat pies and all sorts of exotic food.
Hey, feet pies?
You don't smell any feet. But as you make your way towards the entrance, you notice that there's shops all around the outside of the market, and the inside of the market is just loads of tents, and you see a fighting ring in the center of town, made out of just like a dirt ring encircled by like hay bales. You see looks like a archery range with all sorts of targets set up, and but like a bell on a string that's on a pulley system at the end of this archery range. You see like an elvish woman. She's like taking shots already on this long range, and somebody, like a crowd of people cheering her on. There's all sorts of banners and flags waving. It's like all sorts of colors. You smell the smell of meat is literally just wafting everywhere. It's just making you salivate as you kind of near closer. It's definitely this like grand bazaar, and as you start like making your way through some of these tents, I'll put you up on like a map here. There's some of these tents. This is just a basic map, but there's like tents all over, and there's people everywhere. There's crowds of people. Some of these things, as you walk by, you see an Aarakocra. He's standing there, and he's calling you over. He goes, come see my greatest finds. You walk by another vendor. This is the meat stick vendor. This guy, he's got this display of all these that looks like Slim Jims. So they're kind of like all in these canisters, all like on top of this countertop. And he's a very jolly dwarf man. He's calling everybody over. Oh, try the owl bear. It's exceptional. As you walk by, you see all sorts of signs for. There's a book vendor. There's a turtle. He's giving tattoos. There's a tattoo artist, and his shell is ornately carved in tribal tattoos. You see him kind of sitting there, like giving some sort of tattoo to another elvish man who's just sitting up. He seems to be enjoying the pain a little bit too much. Another interesting sight you guys walk through. You're kind of making your way through this sea of tents. You see a halfling man. He's selling like caricatures. He's painting portraits of a young human couple. This is like a joyous occasion. You see the small man tobacco farms vendor. He's just a halfling. He's selling all sorts of bags of tobacco out of a tent. You guys, I'm assuming you guys are gonna like kind of take a lap around. You see another interesting sight. There's a cleric, a woman. She's selling all these collectibles. She calls you over and she says, "Wow, welcome, travelers! Look at this. We have collectibles from sinners all around the land. Look at right here. This is the left testicle of a well-known playboy bard named Justin Reber. Oh, perhaps I can interest you in the mummified penis of a warlock named Karth Blackheart. Yeah, it's a beautiful necklace." And she kind of holds it up as you guys walk by. And you look on her table. She has like this assortment of like human bones. It's literally all sorts of sights to see. A goblin kind of walks up. He's got this huge top hat on, and he says, "Health potions for sale. I swear they're completely legit. Cheap health potions. Come and get them."
Snarlers is like, "How cheap?"
Oh, real cheap. 30 gold.
Snarlers will take one.
Ah, a man of good taste. And he hands you a health potion. It's kind of like a brownish color to it.
Yeah, I'm putting sketchy health potion in my bag.
Anything else you guys want to see?
Negative.
Nothing that. No scrolls, no any of that type of crap.
No, you do see there's a woman. Seems to be some sort of elvish, maybe a half elf woman. She has a whole tent of these spell scrolls that are on top of her table, and she says, "Spell scrolls, they're not cheap, but they're good fun."
Snarlers is obviously checking this out. And what is the name of the city we're in?
This is Carrington. This is the Carrington Market.
Carrington Bazaar. With a K or a C?
C. And as you're doing that, Snarler's looking through the stacks and stacks of scrolls she's got here. You guys see this strong man. He's out in the in this area that has the like the little ring, and he's kind of like bare knuckle boxing. He's wrestling another guy, and he's just kind of tossing around like he's a rag doll. And you see the archery field, and you see an elvish woman. She's calling out, "Oh, come try your luck! Try your luck! Win a prize!" You see a picnic table set up, and like a large pie eating contest is going on. These guys are shoving pies in their mouths, and there's a crowd of people like cheering them on. Then I forgot the last thing. Then amongst all this, you see a wagon on the edge of town, and this beautiful table set up with all these looks like glass vials and tonics and all sorts of things like that. These strange liquids, and you see all of a sudden you hear a voice rise up over the crowd, and you hear him. He's hawking these potions and other wares, and he says, "He's promised to amaze and astound." He says, "My name is the Amazing Presto, Alchemist Extraordinaire. Come one, come all. Make big from small. Want speed? Drink these. Need brawn? Try one. If you fancy a kiss, just put your lips to this, and soon you'll be smooching your prize. Presto changeo. Potions and lotions and tinctures that thrill. Improve your skills. Cure your ills. Pay your bills with these pills. Grow gills with these vials. Your denials and trials are no match for my batch of notable potables. Presto changeo. Don't ask me. Try for free." And this group of people start like gathering around, and he starts handing out these free samples. You see a bunch of people kind of pushing to get some, and he goes, "Oh, one per person, please." And you see him. My associate here, Hold Hammerhearth, will divvy these out. And you see this the dwarvish man. He's very, very stout, bright green suit on. He's got this huge like handlebar mustache that like attaches to his beard, and he starts handing out some of these potions. And presto changeo, he says, "Oh, don't believe me? Take this strong man," and he calls over the guy in the ring that was throwing the other guy around, and he makes his way to the little setup here. "Take this, and this will make you twice as strong, my friend." So he hands him this vial, and he downs it, and he looks at a couple of minutes, and he's got these like big bulging muscles, and you see him all of a sudden just starts like flexing, and he grabs two people, like humans that are standing next to him, two men, and he just lifts them both up by like their shirts, and he's holding them straight up over his head, and the whole crowd of people are just, "Oh my god, this is amazing. I'll take one. I'll take two. Presto changeo. Try your luck. Have some potions and test your skills at Feet Fest."
I lean over him like, "Bet he doesn't have sketchy health potions."
I want to go over to the small man's farm tent.
Oh, okay.
Peruse their wares.
He's gonna buy some tobacco to give to his BFF now.
No, this is for me.
Oh.
Who's his BFF?
Oh, he didn't see me smoke up with Argyle.
Smoking up with Argyle.
Let's do. What do they got? Just tobacco and various pipes?
Yeah, he's got they're the typical small man farms. They have all their their favorite, like pumpkin spice. They have some blueberry flavored tobacco.
Sure, he wants pumpkin spice.
Absolutely not. I'll just take regular tobacco and a pipe.
All right. Yeah, and the halfling just looks up to you. He's like, yeah. If next time you're in the area, and he hands you like a business card. It's for Small Man Farms. Stop by our factory. I'll give you the tour.
Factory?
Oh yeah, we've recently upgraded. The farm has turned into a full-blown factory. It's created a lot of jobs. Just tell him Benny sent you.
Is that the name on the card?
Yeah, Benny the halfling from Small Man Farms.
What is it, a pouch?
Yeah, you got a pouch of tobacco.
Alright, and a pipe.
Yeah, it's only 10 copper. The pipe is a silver. It's this beautifully handcrafted pipe.
I will pay the man.
And you're looking, he's got like these large sacks behind him of all this tobacco. And you see there's quite a few people coming around his stall.
And what else was going on? Archery contest?
There's an archery contest, a pie eating contest. There's like some guys fighting in the ring. The guy handing out potions. And there's a couple of random other people selling stuff. So
Megler's interested in the fight.
all right, Megler, you make your way over towards the bare knuckle boxing ring.
Okay, I'm headed right over there with Meglar.
All right, yes, you guys are headed over there. A few minutes later, you hear a bunch of commotion, and all of a sudden you look over, and this guy is he's starting to like lose his hair in front of you, and his hair just starts like falling off, and all of a sudden this fur starts growing out of his body, and he starts transforming, and his bones start cracking, and he starts transforming into this werewolf right in the center of this group of people that are taking these potions. And you look over, there's some children that were standing there that were drinking this potion. All of a sudden, they start breathing fire. All right, that's what we'll end it tonight.